I like it.
The most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as usual, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. But as you may have noticed, we have an additional face here, and it's a handsome one, might I add. It is Pips Piano Tips. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you're showing the kid some love. He is going to be with us for at least the first 1 to 2 fights to break down the main and co-main event Carnage from UFC 324. So before we jump into the fights and kind of all the action that we're going over today, let's jump into how everybody's doing. We'll start with you, Pip. How are you doing, man? How's the day treating you? Surviving over there?
Oh, doing all right. Trying to stay warm. Get out of this weather. Doing my best. Definitely busy back at it, but we're here. We're thriving. We're living, baby.
And I see you repping the Sean O'Malley shirt. Let's go, kid.
Got to.
The Suga Show. Great to see you, brother.
Jive Turkey, how we doing, brother? You living and jiving?
Living and jiving, and like AP said, just trying to survive these days, man. It's been a busy week, but all is well. And man, still riding the high of that fight card. It was great to be back. My goodness, great production, great fights. I mean, that was an instant classic. We'll obviously dive into it, but I can't wait, brother. Chomping out the bit. How about you, man? How are you? How are things?
No complaints, man. As I like to tell my significant other, it has been an extremely busy time of year and an even busier work week, but busy does not mean bad. It just means busy. So we keep trucking along till the wheels fall off. And man, let me tell you, no matter what the workload is, it's a lot easier to process when we have beautiful and brilliant fight cards top to bottom like we did this past Saturday. It was a long 6-week drought, and man, it genuinely felt like the first time smoking after a long tolerance break. You know what I mean? Just the highs hit even higher, buddy. Everything was doing the right things, and the fighters were no different. So let's go ahead and jump on into the main event of the evening, folks. It was a lightweight title bout between Justin Gaethje and the one, the only, Paddy motherfucking Pimblett. I mean, this guy is somebody that I was not on the train for originally, right? I hated on Paddy as much as the next guy. We all saw him get wobbled against Luigi Venjamini, but he came back and he pulled that off. And then I truly became a fan in that fight between him and Jordan Levitt. I thought it was one of the most technically brilliant things I'd ever seen in the UFC as far as grappling goes. The way he was able to pen that arm and keep it just kind of suffocated up against his chest in that fight to get the RNC was just absolutely brilliant and a blatant big brothering if I've ever seen one. So I thought, like a lot of the other folks, that maybe, just maybe, Justin Gaethje was getting fed to the young hungry lion. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong, and was everybody else wrong. And brother, Justin Gaethje, he had something for him, didn't he? We'll go to the guest speaker first here. Pip, what were your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and break it down. I already gave my spiel on Sterling's show, but I'll try and give it again. But yeah, definitely a fantastic fight. It was probably fight of the year contender, and we're only in January, folks. So we're off to a good start, I would say. Justin definitely had a lot of success in the striking, a lot of good uppercuts, good hooks, scored a few takedowns. So the wrestling actually looked really good, especially for 37. That's kind of the most I've actually seen him use it. So I'm kind of happy that's what he decided to do. But got to respect Paddy after that performance. I mean, he definitely showed that he belongs in the top 5. Definitely had a few good moments in round 3, but Gaethje definitely kept the strong pressure, found range often. And Paddy definitely has some things to work on, as we've seen, and we all know this, that Paddy keeps his chin way up in the air, and we definitely saw that. You saw on the other hand where Justin was kind of, weaving, ducking really heavy on the right side. So, I mean, one of those things where you could definitely get caught with some knees or something like that. But Paddy was actually getting caught with jabs, hooks, overhands, all that kind of jazz. Definitely did a good job, as well as Paddy was throwing a lot of kicks. So he was able kind of just to frame off of them, and Paddy would either stumble, fall backwards, and Justin was able to kind of really close the space on that. So definitely a good job overall from both guys. Much respect to Paddy for taking the punishment that he did take. But I kind of say let's unify the belt for Ilya and Justin. I say at the White House, and then let's do Paddy Pimblett versus Dan Hooker, since we already got the beef made. Those are my takes.
I love it. And do you have a fun fact or a stat on this earlier that you said?
I do have a stat on this. Y'all ready for this?
Hell yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right. Justin Gaethje, the highlight himself, the first ever 2-time interim champion, won the belt at 37 years old, won the BMF title, ended Tony Ferguson's 12-fight win streak, first man to drop Max Holloway, has never fought an unranked opponent in the UFC, 15 fights, 15 bonuses.
The human highlight is right. And man, what a fucking fact. What a stat. And Miss Mary in the chat, welcome to the screen, Pip. Used to seeing you in the chat.
Thanks, Miss Mary.
Let's go. Nano, what were your thoughts on this fight, man? I know you were picking the old dog, which is very strange. I should have followed your lead there.
I had a gut feeling, brother. I had a gut feeling. I mean, I think, man, it's hard to bet against Mr. Highlight himself, right? I mean, AP has some great comments, but definitely dropped some great facts and had a great breakdown of what happened here on Saturday night. And new second-time interim champion Justin Gaethje. What a performance. I mean, my text that I was sending out to some of the boys was an instant classic. I mean, through and through, pillar to post. It was nothing short of highlights, nothing short of violence. A little eye poke here and there, but I think the big takeaway was, well, I mean, Justin freaking Gaethje is an absolute stud. I think he won the first, the fourth, and the fifth. Let me double check that. Excuse me. I think the first was a toss-up. I think either one of them could have won. I had 2, 4, and 5 for sure going to Justin. Thought Paddy might have edged out 1 and 3 if being unbiased opinion there. But again, the rounds were close. The violence made it even closer, and the pendulum was swinging back and forth. Man, like every time Justin responded and landed some hard shots, Paddy, like a true Scouser, did not get knocked down. I think that was my big takeaway as well, is that Scouser really meant what he said. He's got a granite chin. I think most of those shots, half of them, even one of them, puts most fighters out. So you got to give credit where it's due. Paddy looked great. He weathered the storm, and then when you thought he was building some momentum, he might have heard Justin a little bit, or Justin started diving in or ducking and getting out of sorts. He got back on track, hit Paddy with some heavy shots as well. I mean, again, instant classics. My big takeaway, Justin is a dog. I thought he was going to use the leg kicks more often, but he mentioned in his post-fight conference he didn't want to give Paddy an opportunity to counter or get a leg and take him down. But I think he still had great offensive and defensive takedowns in this fight. And the positions he was in were intentional. I think it was that kind of had his arms locked on top of Paddy's shoulders. I think everything Justin did was, again, good execution on the fight plan. And I just got to give Justin, I mean, I got this right, but I want to do a shot for Justin and Paddy just for how badass this was. Because, again, I think, all the legends speak and all of that definitely can weigh in on a fighter, but the reality is he's a walking legend. I mean, he has no dull moments. 15 fights, 15 bonuses. Like, what more do you want from the kid? Ilya, if that is what's next for him, it's hard not to see what Ilya did to all these other legends, the true legend killer, and I'd be hard pressed to bet against an Ilia Topuria, but I know if Justin and him square off, it's going to be a money fight. It's going to be nothing but fireworks for as long as it lasts. So Justin put himself in a great spot. Paddy versus Dan, I think, is a great shout, AP. Shout out to you there. Maybe even an Arman Sarukian, unless he's going down weight classes. There is some controversy around that one, but Paddy's still in a great spot. He really, I don't think, diminished his light in any way. If anything, he really earned my respect. It's just the better man won. Like you said, no excuses. The better man won, and it happened to be Justin Gaethje, Mr. Violence himself. But, brother, get me off my high horse here, man. How did you feel? What were your thoughts? And what do you think about that freaking show, brother?
Yeah, man, I thought it was a fantastic fight. As you said, instant classic definitely comes to mind. Shout out Sarah Palmer, 4568 in the chat, saying Paddy only won the third round, and that was only because Justin fell asleep for a bit. The only thing that elevated Paddy to a tough guy was not getting knocked out. He should have gone for his strength, the ground game, but he thought Justin was Chandler. That comment is everything. So you guys talked about the good. I'm going to talk about the bad and the ugly. All right. Paddy came into this fight with no game plan other than I'm the best. I can do anything. I can knock anybody out, and I won't get knocked out because I'm a Scouser, and we don't get knocked out. He proved at least one of those things to be true. He is a Scouser. They don't get knocked out. Or they're at the very least very, very tough to knock out, right? He did not stick to the ground game. He apparently attempted 5 takedowns, which I don't remember seeing in the fight. If he did, they were lackluster and very sloppy, bad timed. And also, one of the things that Paddy usually does well in his fights is he flows, right? His hands are really loose. He's clinching right as he's connecting. He did not do that at all this fight. He was very tensed up for most of the fight. He was clubbing his shots and just pawing at his opponent with everything he had. I think it was Pip that actually brought this up during his breakdown, that he would build momentum. He would throw a big kick or a big punch, and he would knock himself over. He would lose his footing. He would stumble. That's happening because he's getting so aggressive with his strikes. And A, it costs you 5 to 10 times the amount of energy and effort when you miss a shot versus when you land one. B, when you're throwing that much force and momentum into a shot, your body doesn't just stop itself, right? Your fist is going to keep going past that point of contact that you miss and going to propel your body in that perpetual motion. That's why he lost his footing numerous times when he threw kicks and punches. So I think this fight would have been a lot different had Paddy come into it with a little bit less macho game plan and a little bit more sound and strategic game plan. I was highly impressed with Justin Gaethje, but again, I'm here to tell you the version of Justin Gaethje that we saw in there against Paddy Pimblett looked stuck in the mud in comparison to the version that fought Max Holloway or Rafael Fiziev. He was moving in slow motion in comparison. You can put the highlights next to each other. I'll probably clip that at some point and put a short up, but genuinely, he looks like he was moving at a different speed in those other fights in comparison to this one. And again, that's a version of Justin that Paddy could exploit. If I'm saying that about the guy that went out there and got fucking battered and beat and eye poked into oblivion, what does Ilia Topuria do to him? Like, Ilia is going to blast his head off. He has the precision of Dustin Poirier and the power of Justin Gaethje, while somehow having the finesse and flow of Max Holloway. Like, he's got the best arsenal of stand-up striking. And by the way, he entered the UFC with 0 stand-up skills whatsoever. He was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, which is why people wanted to see the Ryan Hall fight, folks. And then he killed Ryan Hall, and we haven't heard from him since. I don't even think he's doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu videos anymore. Has anybody heard from him? We should check on him, guys. Real talk. So, I mean, like, this was a fantastic fight. Instant classic. The 20-plus year fan in me that's been watching for that long loved this. I will watch it again. As, you know, the corporate head, the marketing head, I can't help but think that this was a poor main event for the first Paramount era. Both guys just clawing and pawing at each other. If people were coming to this from boxing for the first time, I got to think they're scratching their head like, this is a title fight? These guys don't know how to jab. You know, and that's a tough look. So I loved it. I thought it was a great fight. I thought it was a fantastic ending to the card, but it did leave me wanting more. And the biggest thing before we get into the co-main event and my picks on what I think should be next, were you guys thrilled or pleased or even whelmed with the product? Because Dana promised us a lot of new production packets and different things like that. And to me, it just felt very much the same, but with the Paramount logo instead of the ESPN one.
Yeah, I'll hop in real quick. I did feel like it was pretty similar. I think I noticed a little bit of a delay and maybe some lagginess, but I don't know if that was just like streaming it on my buddy's computer. It was on Paramount, but we were still on a laptop, so I was kind of thinking maybe it's just user error on my end. So I don't think I heard any big complaints about the actual stream itself, which is good.
Smoothness of the stream was definitely better than ESPN. I didn't see anybody complaining about it online, and that's the opposite of what you see on the ESPN streams.
I would agree. Even the quality of the cameras, I thought, was a little bit better compared to ESPN.
Significantly better.
Yeah.
One of the people on the Helwani show that works on the back end, she actually works for the camera crew portion of the show. She said that watching it herself, as somebody that works in the film industry and more so in the camera portion of the film industry, she said you could tell a difference in the true 4K, and that there was a noticeable difference in quality depending on which TV screen you're watching on.
Love that. Yeah, I don't think I noticed anything else production-wise. Granted, watching with a group of friends or talking in between fights and whatnot, leaving the room. But, I think probably still some kinks that need to be worked out. Maybe they're not at the, final destination just yet. But a lot of eyeballs, and Dana's one to take the feedback and hopefully apply it. And I think Paramount has the resources to get it done. But and maybe that's a good thing. I don't want it to turn into, WWE type stuff. Like I want it to be about the fight. So, all the extra fluff is good and great, but cameras are good. I think people were complaining about the ads going through some of the corner.
Can't want it to be a Big Five sport and not expect it to become a fucking Big Five sport. People like, you ever watched an NFL game? Like my only complaint is they should do the ads in between the fights. They should kill more off-air time in between the fights. Like, I'd rather 5 minutes of ads and then you give us the corner commentary in between rounds. You let us hear the coaches talking to their fighters in between rounds. Give us 15 minutes or the 17 minutes uninterrupted with the in between round stuff, and just give us 5 minutes of commercials in between when you're doing all the prep bullshit. That's how the NFL does it, right? They don't make us miss any of the plays or snaps.
No, yeah, they definitely do. And even on Red Zone, which was for a long time notably regarded as the place without commercials and ads and stuff like that, but now they even have them, and it might be kind of similar like you see on the bottom of our screen, just like the little banner or kind of play in bordering of
the L slot that they do for WWE.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. And maybe Anik reminding him, brought to you by Modelo or whatever the advertiser is at the time, like maybe each round or different things like that. But some adjustments can be made for sure. But advertisers got
growing pains. Growing pains. They got to make their money, folks. Like, it's $7.7 billion a deal. They got to make that money back. Ads are a big part of how the world works.
Overall, I think I definitely agree with you. I think the production of it was pretty nice. They didn't change much. I mean, they kind of changed some backgrounds, I think, when they interviewed some fighters at the end. But overall, it was very similar, which, I mean, for the UFC, they've done so well with what they have. Why change the whole what they're doing? But that was my technically only issue, was I thought that the ad placement, not so much how many ads they were. And I get it is $8.99, right? So we're going to have ads. But I mean, we had ads over the corner work and during some of the walkouts. Like, I think I agree with you, Uncle, and I think we should just kind of have a longer ad space, but focus more on each fights.
Absolutely. And then one more thing.
An hour earlier.
They should not have started the card an hour earlier. They should have pushed that start time back when those two fights got canceled. They killed 45 minutes of airtime. Like, it turned people off. We don't need to see that stuff. But another thing is, did anybody, and this is something that I found out about the NFL as well with their Amazon deal. So for the NFL, if you're watching, I believe, the Thursday night games on Amazon, did you know they have an Amazon Prime specific, like, detailed camera thing where it basically looks like a video game? It shows on the screen how many yards they need for the first down. It's showing the X's and O's during the plays. It's very cool. You've seen that, right, Nano?
Yeah. On Amazon specifically, they use their AWS technology, and exactly. It has the motioning. It looks like a Madden game. It's pretty sick. I do like that.
So, not the same, but different, but still the same. There is that option essentially for UFC now with Paramount Plus. You can do a multi-camera option where it shows you, like, I think 3 to 4 different camera angles at the same time.
Oh, shit. Like a quad box, or it's rotating in between each of the different cameras?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I literally didn't find out about it until after the card, and somebody posted it, and they're like, did you know that if you click info or details before you click into the fight, it gives you the option to do the multi-stream? I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I thought
Do that
was
next time we're at the old lady's brother's house with his 80-inch.
There you go.
What was that bit?
I was going to say, yeah, you kind of just get different angles of the fights, and I think like a cam of the corner as well, so it is kind of neat.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Even better. ESPN showed a Bella Danger during the national championship game. Smart. Yeah, it's great. It's great ads. Great exposure. Pun intended. So what do I think should be next for Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett? I think Justin Gaethje should fight Ilia Topuria. He should be fighting for the belt, right? Like, that's the fight that makes the most sense. And then for Paddy Pimblett, like, realistically, I say you put him in a fight against Conor McGregor. You can do it at catch weight of 165. No harm, no foul. It's the passing of the torch between one brash young superstar from another country versus another. And, you know, people have made the comparisons between the two. So, I don't know. I just think that fight makes a lot of sense. But what do you think, Nano?
Man, that's a fun one. I did see a clip earlier today of Conor McGregor training, and I was kind of thinking, like, who is he preparing for? Paddy would be sweet. I didn't even think about that, to be honest. I was thinking more of a legend for Conor and Jorge. I mean, Chandler, maybe paying the cops to be the
Chandler
boss.
fight's never gonna happen, bro. It's like Fetch in Mean Girls. Stop trying to make it happen. It's never gonna happen.
You know, here. Maybe DP. He said he's willing to come out of retirement for a Justin Gaethje trilogy. Would he do it for a Conor McGregor?
That'd be fun.
I don't know, man.
If they did it, they'd have to have another fight in Louisiana, though, or at least in the South. Because the first time they did it, like right outside Justin Gaethje's back door at elevation. Next time they did it on a medium ground. They're 1-1, and you know, with all due respect, they owe Dustin that one in his home grounds, at least to an extent. You know, Dustin Conor White House, I would watch. That would actually make me watch that card. It's one of the few things that could probably get me to tune in.
I think me and Grammy are on the same page on that one. Definitely can happen. If it makes dollars, it makes sense.
Your wife sent me DMs.
All the sound bites. I mean, that would be legendary. But I'll tell you what, if I'm Paddy, I mean, I think you're still potentially one fight away from fighting again for a championship.
I can make you rich.
Well, Conor could definitely do that. But if Ilia wins and he stays in the division, him and Paddy are still on a collision course. So maybe it's an Armand, or I think I like the Dan Hooker shout as well. Assuming he goes out there and beats Benoit Saint-Denis. I think the timing.
I'll talk about that in 2 days, but I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Even Benny. Maybe Benny Saint-Denis then. Winner of that fight could certainly get the opportunity against Paddy.
Benny Saint-Denis, Justin Gaethje, that motherfucker would be racking up a hell of a resume.
Yeah. And Justin said he'll fight anyone. So that's the reality of the situation. If it's Ilia, Justin's going to sign the check. If it's, I mean, he mentioned he wanted the winner of Max and Charles Oliveira because those are the two guys that got him last. So the amount of
weird situation.
It's a bit it's a bit weird for sure, but
bit strange, isn't
it? Rather strange, isn't it?
Bit strange, isn't it, mate? Oh man. With that being said, let's go ahead and move into the co-main event of the evening. We have Sean O'Malley, Suga Sean, the man on the right shirt, coming in against not just Yadong, but Song Yadong. Have you heard the song of Yadong? Look, I'm going to pour up a shot. You wanted to do one anyways for Justin Gaethje, so we might as well just do one together. Because, look, folks, it doesn't happen all the time. Mostly on Saturdays. I got this one wrong. It was one of the ones I got wrong. Look, it happens. This is one of the very few ones I got wrong that was not a heart pick. All right, we'll get to the heart picks a little bit later once we give Alex his night back. But with that being said, folks, if you're drinking, drink with us. Cheers to you. Raise one up. And if not, raw dog some air. Maybe sip on a Coca-Cola like the man to my far right. Either way, cheers. We love you guys.
Salud.
No, I'm going to come to you first on this one. Because that's your boy, right? You're out there in his home state, repping Hill Horde. Tell me. What were your thoughts? Like, were you impressed? And more importantly, I got to be that guy. I don't want to be, but I got to be. You know, it's a law. Do you think the judges got it wrong?
Oh man, it was definitely close. I was super nervous going into it for my boy Suga and the Suga show, and it sounds like Tim Welsh and their camp were as well. I have a lot of respect for Song Yadong, but I did feel, to be honest, like once they started striking and once Suga started moving around and you getting comfortable with his distance, I actually felt much more at ease. And I thought, okay, actually, he should find a way to go get it done. And then he started getting taken down. And then I definitely got worried again, because that is always a quick way to lose a fight if you're accepting the takedowns. And then I did get a little frustrated. He's like looking over and like kind of throws his hands up like, oh, what am I supposed to do? It's like, well, brother, defend him and keep him moving, brother. Don't just
get the fuck up.
Yeah, get your ass up, bro. Do something explosive. Be an athlete. Don't just sit there and, oh, what the fuck? So
he's like, sir, have you tried getting up?
Barely.
That's what he's saying. I'm legally blind. Yeah, I mean,
I cannot see.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
And that's where I was, man, worried about how the decision was going to look. But then I remembered, oh, yeah, it's the Suga show. He's the cash cow. They're going to give it. If it's close, in any sense, it's going to go to Suga. So I wasn't too shocked by the decision. I thought he did enough from a striking perspective. Even not necessarily total strikes, but just the effectiveness, some of the knees, and getting Song Yadong on his back.
Someone double check the stats to make sure they padded that statement.
I did have to double check, pulled it up here. Because, you know, it's, well, you know, it was 69 strikes to 6-7. Sorry. And then, you know, 3 takedowns from Song Yadong. But
Takuseg?
He did stuff for him. He did stuff for us. So maybe you give him a little credit there. We were leaning Suga KO, and that's
this number one bullshit, brother.
I think that's where I should have known better. I think I should have had more respect for Song Yadong and his chin. Dude went the distance with Peter Yan as well. Like, he doesn't get knocked out. He might as well be a Scouser as well. But that, I think in retro, we probably should have just took Suga by decision. But all is well that ends well. Suga show is back, baby. I'm tuned in. It was an absolute banger of a co-main. And in terms of what's next for Suga, I mean, man, I still think it's Corey Sandhagen. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see him fight for the title again, and maybe he would leapfrog his way up there, but I don't even care as much for him chasing the belt as much as I would want to see him get in the octagon with another true mixed martial artist. And I like Corey Sandhagen. I think the Sandman versus Suga show is something that we've been needing to see for years now. And maybe if one of them win, then they can leapfrog up and fight, if it's a Merab or a Umar or a Piotr, whoever that new champion is. I think that's the path for Suga. I don't know if it's straight to the title shot, but I would not be surprised if he does get the nod, because, again, Suga is the ace side of a card. He will bring the house down. He will bring butts to seats. So
he is the ace side. He is the guy that puts asses in seats. The real Drew Dober in the chat says, "What's up, Chode?" Chode, since it's in all caps, I can only assume is just an acronym that means something. Maybe like cool, hot, omnipotent dudes, etc. And if that's the case, then hey, right back at you, Chode. McGregor fast, McGregor sleep. Chode? I mean, yeah, brother. He came in on one tonight. Sus Passer, my guy. Have you slept? What are you on right now? And can I get some? No. I do think the judges get it right, because we're supposed to judge this based on damage, right? But when the fight is close, we are supposed to go to secondary factors like control time, grappling, etc., total strikes, what have you. Control time, octagon control was there for Song Yadong. He did outland him 6'9" to 6'7", as you said. 36 to 48 on significant strikes, so that was fairly close. He landed 3 of 7 takedowns and racked up over 2 minutes of control time. So it is tough, because that control time was split amongst rounds. But I would say round 2, he outlanded him in total strikes. He doubled up on him in significant strikes and had a minute and a half of control time. So I scored that round for Song Yadong. The kind of split round for me is the first round. Song Yadong did get 38 seconds of control time, went 1 for 1 on his takedowns attempted, and landed 1 more total strike than Sean O'Malley. However, Sean O'Malley was considered to have landed 6 more significant strikes, which is kind of where it kind of gets up in the air, and you can have one guy had control time, one guy had a takedown, another guy landed a handful more significant strikes. And at the end of the fight, you got to look at their faces, and one of the guys looks like he was in a war. The other guy looks like he could go out and do a photo shoot tomorrow to promote his next product of electrolytes. So, yeah, I think the judges did get it right. But, I mean, if they would have went the other way, I wouldn't be saying that it was a robbery, okay?
That's fucking illegal.
You know what I'm saying? Pip, what were your thoughts on this Sean O'Malley fight? Because something tells me you thought the judges also got it right.
Yes.
Because I think you might be an O'Malley guy.
Yeah, I think they also got it right. I think Sean won round 1 and 3, and then Song took over round 2. But I thought it was a really competitive fight, and I was telling Nano last time in the chat, I said that I think Suga's going to style, and it was a little too close for comfort. But no, overall, I mean, Sean O'Malley just kind of did what he does best. I mean, he stuck and moved for the most part. He had effective teep kicks, jabs, and crosses. Just kind of had a better, or at least, a more successful game plan. But Song had good results with the leg kicks, kept O'Malley on the back foot for a little bit, but Sean's footwork is just on a different level at this point. Sean O'Malley found his range kind of at the end of the second round and just carried it into the third. I mean, beautiful straight hands right over the guard. Did a great job kind of stepping on the outside of Song's power side. And then kind of going back off to what I think is next for O'Malley. I mean, I think it kind of depends on the Merab-Yan fight. I mean, I think if Yan wins, I say we go ahead and do the rematch. I think that's going to sell a lot of tickets anyway. I think that's probably the fight to make if you want to sell the most tickets. But if Merab wins, I don't think we want to see Merab Sean 3. So I say let's do Sean versus Corey. That's what everybody wants to see. That's what the fans really want. You either got to do it now or never. So that's what I say is next. And then for the Kung Fu Kid, I say David Martinez if he beats Vera.
I love that fight, Pip.
And then maybe Peyton Talbot. It's kind of a hard. Everybody's kind of got a good amount of fights booked already, and
I love both of those.
So those are my picks.
I love both of those picks so much, bro. I love both those picks so much.
Proper
Look,
shouts.
I'm gonna ride your coattails on those last two because I don't think anything I say can be any better than those two names for the Kung Fu Kid. But I'm gonna throw you a curveball when it comes to your boy Sugar Sean O'Malley. Why not Ayman Zahabi?
That is a good one. Can't think of a reason not, brother.
Ayman Zahabi sitting at number 6. He's up 6 rankings since last year, and he's on an absolute fucking tear. And I gotta think, if you guys are real O'Malley fans, I mean, you're foaming at the mouth for that kind of matchup because it's just a striker's delight. There's no threat of the takedown, and it's just two rangy fighters. Like, if there is ever going to be an opportunity for him to style on someone, it's not going to be in a title fight against Petr Yan or fucking Merab. But against this guy to set up a title fight, this is probably the one.
I think so.
I'd buy it.
I don't know. I just think that
money.
fight's fun.
Take my money.
I think that's a lot of fun, bro. Nano, did you have any names on the tip of your tongue?
For Song Yadong, I mean, I would have been one of the ones y'all listed, but I do think Sahabi's a good shout. He's moved up a spot. He's right next to him. I mean, at this stage in Song Yadong's career, like, there's only so many ways he can go. I mean, he's sitting at 5 currently. I don't think he lost a lot of stock. I don't think it'd be beneficial for him to fight too much further down. Figgy just lost at 7. I think we're right in that sweet spot. At Ayman Zahabi makes a lot of sense. I think that'd be the one I would try to book ASAP. Unless does Ayman have a fight coming up? No. So his last fight was against Chito Vera in October. I mean, you gotta think he's itching to get back in there sooner rather than later. Same with Song. Typically, coming off a loss like that, you want to get back in sooner rather than later. Wipe that taste out of your mouth, and then keep it moving. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a lot of fun. Pip, you want to stay for a couple more fights? You gonna jump?
Oh, I'm gonna jump. I gotta go to work tomorrow, but I appreciate y'all having me. It's 11:45 over my time. I'm gonna catch some sleep.
Dude, we appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you being on. And folks, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump on over to Pip's Piano Tips at Pip's Piano Tips, 2 P's and Pips, and make sure you drop a sub on there, like some of those videos, and if you're into piano, you'll definitely be coming back for more. Dude's a G.
Thank you, brother. Y'all be safe. God bless.
Absolutely, you as well, man. Have a good day at work. So, all right, man. let's talk about this fucking heavyweight bout, right? Because our guy, Waldo, Salsa Boy Cortez, he's the guy, bro. He's the fucking guy. He's the guy, right? Like, Derrick Lewis basically did a reverse Undertaker, if you will. You know, the Undertaker, like, just kind of gets up after you think he's fucking dead. Derrick Lewis, he thought he was fine, and I'm gonna lay down right now and get beat up. That's what he did. It was the most peculiar thing. Like, I thought he got hit, and then I watched the replay, and I'm like, I don't know that he was hurt. I think he was just tired of standing up. Kind of like we always say, he's tired of laying down, so he's just gonna get up. He's tired of standing up, so he just figured he'd lay down. And then he got just ground and pounded out for his liking. So it was a weird one, to say the very least, Nano. But I digress. Salsa Boy goes out there, absorbs almost no damage. He ate 8 total strikes, landed 46, and a takedown for good luck, and what was considered a knockdown, as weird as it might have been. The guy just is very strong, and he doesn't fight like an MMA fighter. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He's a former baseball player, right? So when he throws, he's not throwing like your typical 1-2s. He's throwing the one out and then throwing a fucking just fastball special, as I call it, down the pipe. And he hit Derrick Lewis with a couple of those, and you could tell that Derrick Lewis did not want to be in there. He's 40 years old. Like, I get it. You're past your prime. The milk expiration date on the carton, it's tomorrow. You know, you're right there. So you don't want to fucking eat those shots. It's like staying out of the fridge, bro. That milk's curdling, dude. Don't feel good. Derrick essentially quit in that fight. It was tough to see as a Derrick Lewis fan, but I understand it because, as I've said, this guy, Waldo Cortes-Acosta, is realistically the future of the heavyweight division. I think by this year's end, there's a high probability that this man has gold wrapped around his waist. And this was just another notch on the board, so to say. What were your thoughts, man? Anything stand out to you or surprise you here?
You hit the nail on the head. Salsa Boy, a.k.a. Salsa Man, was the man with the plan. And I think it was obvious in that first round. He was just getting his reads. And I think his whole premise was trying to get Derrick into deep waters. And it wasn't by vicious attacks or ground and pound. It was just by dancing the octagon, getting out of puncher's range, in and out of the spacing, and using that full octagon to his advantage. He did land 14 strikes to Derrick's 4 in that first round. But I really think his whole idea was to really come out strong in that second round and put the beast to bed, if you will. And I say that because, to your point, like it just felt like at that stage in the fight, Derrick really didn't have much left in him. And I don't know if it's just the adrenaline dump. Obviously, he's 40 years old. I heard the broadcasters, I think it was Dominic Cruz, talking about, he packed on a lot more muscle, and that actually, will tire you out more. I'm like, I mean, yes, but I also just think Derrick has never really had a good cardiovascular system there at 40 years old, carrying around all that extra weight. Gut or not, I think you're either in shape or you're not. Like, that's
peptides or not.
Yeah, like I don't think it was too much muscle mass caused him to wither in the second round after 5 minutes of fighting. Like, no, I just think he is way past his prime, and he knew damn well I only have a couple big shots in the chamber. And once Waldo didn't fall for that trap, and Waldo again kept moving, getting Derrick to chase him down, tire himself out, that second round, his bow-legged knees just couldn't take it anymore. And all it took was the knuckles and a little bit of the breeze on that punch from Waldo Cortez. Because I agreed. I don't even think he hit him. He basically gave up. And you watch the replay, and I can understand maybe it doesn't take much. Maybe it was just that little flick of the wrist or the knuckles. Again, you mentioned a good point. Like, Waldo has that baseball kind of throw. So, I mean, everything he puts out there does have a lot of torque, or a lot of
torque. I think torque is the right word.
So maybe it was one of those that caught him on the recoil and just got enough of the chin, literally just barely enough to get Derrick out of sorts and onto the ground and there for the TKO finish. So Waldo, the right man won. Waldo's obviously the better fighter, especially at this stage in their careers. And Waldo's already talking about wanting to fight another 6 times this year. So I love what I'm seeing from him. And if I'm being honest, I don't think he'll need another 5 fights to get to a title contender status. I think he's already on that short list of exciting fighters, no doubt about it. And when you look at the landscape currently, he's sitting at the 5 spot. Maybe he'll go up, maybe he'll stay there. But whether it's a Curtis Blades, a Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, maybe Ciryl Gane. Again, we don't know.
I was thinking Ciryl Gane for a vacated belt.
I was going to say, I think all kind of everything factors around Tom's health. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I remember Dana White saying he had another surgery, which is just absolutely brutal. It has been, a few months now? I don't know if there's a true cutoff, but Dana White's not in the...
They also said they're going to be more stringent on the rules for how often you have to defend. So anybody who doesn't defend within a year is going to end up either relinquishing the belt or they're going to implement an interim title in that situation.
I wonder if we'll even see that full year. I mean, maybe because it is a true injury, like maybe they'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think they're going to want to keep the heavyweight division like on track. And I think the obvious matchup would be a Ciryl Gane versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta for the interim title. And if you're Tom Aspinall, obviously you may not be willing to do that, but the reality is like, hey, like Dana White, I could see it being as simple as Dana White calling like, hey, are you ready to fight by June or for the White House card? If not, we're going to go ahead and do what we need to do and keep the division moving. Interim title, maybe he comes back and that still has a lot of heat if it's a Gane versus Tom interim vacant title, whatever it is, or Waldo. Again, I really like Waldo's chances in these fights now. But again, I think, and it sucks, like it pains me to say this because I love Tom Aspinall. He's worked so hard. He's definitely one of the best in the world. But if you're coming off a second eye injury, like let's let these other men that are putting their life on the line and put, looking to get that same opportunity. Like, let's not take that away from them because of an injury. So to your point, 6 months to a year, who knows if we'll see Tom again, but I do want to see Waldo versus someone like a Volkov or a Ciryl Gane. I think it has to be a number 1 contender fight next for Waldo. That's my opinion. Why not?
I think a number 1 contender fight or an interim belt fight against Ciryl Gane. Waldo was too fast for Lewis, able to circle and get around Derrick every time he threw anything, says Pips Piano Tips. He also said odd finish with Lewis taking the shot, moving in, and just accepting bottom position. And just, I'm assuming he was going to say essentially just letting him finish him. My takes for the Midnight Smoke. By surgery, I think Dana did clarify and say it was an injection. Yeah. Probably some type of injection just to help kind of cleanse and speed the recovery process along. But to my knowledge, he has partial vision in one eye and no vision in the other eye still. So tough stuff for Tom Aspinall and his fans. And we wish him a speedy recovery. In this next fight, it's the women's flyweight bout between Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas. This one was another one that was fairly close when you're watching it. But again, if you look at it on paper and you go back and rewatch it, I do feel like the judges gave the right person the nod here. I'll keep it short and sweet. Natalia Silva seemed to be a little bit too hesitant in this fight. She was not throwing the amount of kicks that we're used to seeing her throw usually. She was doing the hip motion, right? But she just wasn't releasing those kicks. She was thinking a lot in there, which we don't usually see. We usually see her flowing. And ultimately, I think that's what led to a less than exciting performance from Natalia Silva, who up until now has been allergic to a boring performance, right? But I will also say that Thug Rose Namajunas is essentially the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson of any women's division, and the fact that she is a specialized fighter. She is a specialist fighter, and you have to train for her in that way. You have to take everything that she brings to the table very seriously and also as a very deadly weapon. Because if you don't, you'll end up like a Zhang Weili and getting head kicked into oblivion, right? Or Ioana Jędrzejczyk and just getting torn to pieces on the boxing. So you do have to prepare for her in a very specialized way. And a lot of times, more often than not, what that leads to is a highly defensive performance. You shy away from your usual fight. You over-respect what they're bringing in their arsenal. And as a result, you adapt to face that. And Natalia Silva, make no mistake about it, she's somebody that fights to the level of competition that's in front of her. If Rose is not throwing a ton of strikes, she is not throwing a ton of strikes, which is why Rose threw 119 strikes. She threw 147. Rose landed 46. She landed 63. Significant strikes, Rose threw 94, landed 26. Her opposition threw 133, landed 51. Are you catching a trend here? Like, Her opposition, Thug Rose, attempted 5 takedowns, got 1. Natalia Silva attempted 2 takedowns, more efficiently, got 1. I just genuinely think that she's the better fighter. She was the more crisp fighter on the night. And I mean, look, you may not love it, and neither do I. It was not the best fight on the card and not the best fight of the year by a landmark or by a landslide. But I genuinely just think that she's a complete fighter. And she's a problem for many, many people at the top. What do I think should be next for her? Again, realistically, she's sitting at number 1, or rather tied for number 1 with Manon Fior. I think you have to schedule her either against Manon Fior or as the very next opponent for Valentina Shevchenko. Maybe throw that on the maybe 3 down slot on the White House card. I don't know. What were your thoughts on the performance, and what do you think should be next for her?
Yep, definitely agree with everything you said there, brother. Great breakdown. And I love AP's comments here, the little lullabies before bed here, if you will. Silva doing the salsa dance or something in that first round. Wasn't sure if I called them feints or not. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it certainly felt like more feints than punches thrown and landed for sure in that first round.
She was hitting that Dak Prescott.
She was in that Dak Prescott, the little shimmy hips. It was a lot, man. I just that definitely obviously got a good chuckle out of your boy, but you know, we're all watching the fights and I'm hyping it up how Thug Rose and Natalia Silva are these great strikers, and we're going to see exciting kickboxing, and it was everything but that in that first round. 13 total strikes for Natalia, or 15, excuse me, for her, and then 13 for Thug Rose. I mean, and Natalia stuffed the takedown. So, I mean, that's a tough round to score. I guess maybe you have to give it to Natalia, but I was thinking Thug Rose won that round. And then you go to the second, and Thug Rose landed more, 25-15 against Natalia, scored 1 of 3 takedowns. So in my head, I was like, okay, I think Thug Rose is like at least getting the points. This isn't the most entertaining fight, but she has a chance to just point her way to a win, which is why I like Thug Rose, is why I think she's one of the best female fighters, maybe obviously past on the back 9 of her career, but certainly when it comes to her resume and the pedigree. And like you said, like the problem she poses in that octagon, I thought she was going to be able to edge out a victory. But I think that third round is always a big judge of how things are going to go. And Natalia really started to pour it on in the third. Thug Rose just really didn't have much for her. I think half of that was just Natalia's youth, a lack of real big exchanges throughout the fight, and really emptying out the gas tank. I just thought if Thug Rose could have really went out on that shield a little bit more often, or at least in that third round, it could have gone differently. I was a little shocked to see Natalia won, but after like reflection, I'm biased for one. I picked Thug Rose in my fantasy team, so I certainly had my rose-colored glasses on, pun intended there. But I got my shot poured up because, you know, Thug Rose is not the thug she once was, right? You know, I know all thugs go to heaven, and she will certainly be angelic as she ends her career and maybe has a couple more money fights. But I just think that, you know, Father Time is undefeated. And you look at someone like a Natalia who perfectly represents the new age of UFC when it comes to the skill, when it comes to the looks. Let's call it what it is. Like, she is someone that is marketable. She's pretty. She dresses well. She's really, really sweet. And she can go out there and whip some behind. So I do think at this stage, taking this kind of fight on a 4-week notice, so maybe that was half of it too. Maybe she didn't have a full camp, so you can have those built-in excuses. But the reality is you beat someone like a Thug Rose. That's huge for the resume. And I don't know what else you do with the Natalia Silva, but give her the champion, assuming Shevchenko wants to get back in there. I mean, we haven't seen Valentina fight since November 15th, so it's almost 2 months now. I mean, how much time do you need? I don't think Natalia got any injuries. I think if you're Valentina, why wouldn't you want to try to fight on a White House card or early summer?
They could definitely both be ready by June.
I'd love to see that happen. If not, I think around that time frame makes sense. Maybe Valentina wants a little time off, but she's not getting any younger either. So I think you squeeze out a few more of these defenses. And
if she wants to defend against the upper echelon, like a Manon Fior again, or a Natalia Silva. Like, she really does need to start doing it now, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
she's on the wrong side of 35. She's gonna end up aging herself out of this promotion eventually. And how long until Father Time kind of ticks her clock or hits that timestamp for her?
And interestingly enough, Manon and Natalia are both ranked number 1.
I saw that. That's what I was saying. Like, they were tied for number 1. I've never seen that before on the ranking set.
I think that's indicating that she's going to be next for the title. I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, as you said, she dresses well. She's a pretty face, and like, she's 50% supermodel, 50% superstar, and 100% the answer to marketability of the sport on the Paramount era. You get a face like that as one of your champions, she's probably going to be at the Golden Globes or the Emmys or whatever the fuck that award show was next. So give her the title shot next. I'm all about it. You've got your shot poured up. I went ahead and poured mine up since I have one to do for the next fight. Cheers, folks. If you're drinking, drink with us. If not, that's fine too. Either way, do whatever it is you're doing responsibly. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe too.
Salud, y'all. Appreciate you. And hell of a career for Doug Rose. I mean, we're talking like she's, hanging him up, but I just love that she continues to challenge herself. Just hasn't had the best of luck as of late. And
Giants fan SG2ES, thoughts on Colby Covington White House return?
Ooh,
that's a fun one.
I think that would definitely pull well for Trump and I say us Americans, but man, I wouldn't love it. But it's interesting. I wonder if
Ian Gary versus Colby Covington White House.
Ooh, I was gonna say, what if they do one of their wrestling matches, him versus Luke, or no, they just fought, right? Or are they gonna fight?
RAF? They just fought.
Maybe Colby against Bo. They were jawing back and forth. They were jawing back and forth.
Fun one.
They may need to do it, man. They may need to do it. What are your picks here, Giants fan? SG2ES. What are you thinking? You want to see Colby fight in UFC or in wrestling? And does Bo make sense? I reckon it does.
Man.
Other than that, I mean, Colby, personally, I don't know. I could go without, but it is the American card, and what's more American than, I guess, Colby Covington in that sense. So we'll give it to you.
I'm trying to think who else would make sense for a Colby Covington.
Look up
Big Mouth would be a fun one too.
That definitely would be a fun one.
Or Carlos Prates if he's trying to work his way up the rankings. And Carlos would sign the dotted line.
He would. He definitely
maybe
would.
He said
Bilal,
possibly
maybe?
UFC, maybe Bo, maybe Connor, or potentially Leon. Connor versus. Ooh, that'd be fun too.
Damn, I didn't even think about Connor. That would be
Colby
great,
Connor. Man. Oh man, could you imagine the presser?
Sheesh.
I'm getting like early cringe premonitions right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is true chaos.
7th layer of hair.
I could see that. I mean, yeah, I don't know who else
great call, Giants
Colby
fan.
would answer the bell for. I mean, maybe like a Kevin Trailblazer Holland. He's always willing to throw down.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Big Mouth would be a fun one.
Oh, yeah, you said Big Mouth. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm looking at all the guys in the top 50 right now, and there's not a lot jumping out on me, but that's certainly one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Is Wonder Boy retired? Maybe Wonder Boy? I don't.
Wonder Boy's not retired. He said he's got like 1 or 2 more in him.
That could be one to go out. I like the Rocky Edwards shout.
The NMF versus the CMF, the cringiest motherfucker.
There you go. I mean, but Leon already beat Colby once, so I don't know if they would run that one back.
Leon already beat him once. Kamaru already beat him. So like a lot of the Legends fights are already off the table.
Yeah.
Joaquin Buckley called him out some time ago. They could run that.
I think so.
That'd be a fun bout. Bilal Muhammad would be another fun one.
I definitely think Bilal would be good as well. I don't know if he would love that. I mean,
he needs a W, and that would be good name value building for him.
That is very true. They'd have some good exchanges back and forth as far as the fight build-up's concerned.
That'd be a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, let's talk about a fight that I just did a shot for already preemptively. That was not a lot of fun. as a Arnold Allen fan. However, as somebody that drafted John Silva in our UFC fantasy league, it was a bit of fun. Double-edged swords. We bet on Arnold Allen on the show. I drafted John Silva in my UFC fantasy league, so we are padding the checkbook, so to speak. John Silva really is a problem in the featherweight division. He moves forward like a zombie with reckless disregard. He was eating a lot of really hard straight shots and uppercuts from Arnold Allen. Allen actually did a really good job cutting angles and utilizing footwork. In fact, Arnold Allen was the better fighter. He was the more technical fighter. He did everything right in there. The issue is, no matter what he threw at John Silva would bark at him and move forward. The guy's an absolute psychopath in every regard of the word. And it shows in is the way that he fights. And I get it, like crying, looking at the belt, like people made fun of him. That's fine. But with all due respect, if you've ever wanted something that bad in your life, you'd probably do the same thing or something very similar. And there's few scarier things than a motherfucker that'll cry 1 minute and knock your ass out the next. He literally jumped on this guy and like realistically, he turned into Jean Silva Surfer for a moment. He was surfing with Arnold Allen as the surfboard. He went out there and styled on the guy. And I thought that Arnold Allen was going to be too fundamentally sound, which, hey, I wasn't wrong. He was fundamentally sound. He did, like I said, everything right. John Silva just hits harder and has an unlimited gas tank, seemingly. I think if you ran a rematch with him and Diego Lopez, either next fight or the one after, he would probably beat Diego Lopez. So God forbid Diego actually get the belt. John Silva will end up holding that belt that he's screaming over a lot sooner rather than later. I was highly impressed with this performance. I think that this is, again, just another notch on the board for someone who will be on our radar for a very long time to come. The Fighting Nerds are doing great things right now. Nano, what were your thoughts on here? Did you learn anything new about John Silva, or was it kind of what you expected to see play out?
He definitely earned some more respect. So big barks, whoa, 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 to the big dogs. Gotta eat. Shout out John Silva. I did like the emotions going into it. I thought maybe that could be a distraction, but then I kind of sat back and thought, like, man, like if he's that emotional over just seeing the belt in that kind of light, I mean, man, how motivated is this guy gonna be? Like, what?
That is hunger.
That is true junkyard dog status right there. And I thought it was interesting. I don't know how often I've seen like a wife holding pads and so involved with the pre-fight and post-fight, of course. But I to be honest, I didn't even know that was his girl. One, which I don't know, that's maybe side note, maybe that's more TMZ's world. But I thought, oh, John Silva has, his girlfriend or wife, very cool. And then you see like how
shout out Leticia Gonzalez, the first significant other in the corner of a fighter in the UFC, Mike Perry's girl.
Oh, shoot. There we go. Okay. See, so that's where, it's few and far between.
Because he said, if I have a manager and I have a corner team, I have to give them 40% of my winnings. If it's my significant other, it's all coming home.
Hell yeah, baby.
I don't need anybody in my corner. She was literally like, what do I do? He's all, squirt me with water, baby.
Put some eyes in my bag. Tell me you love me. Yeah, I mean, shit, that at the end of the day, that's fair. And I guess they were doing pads together, just 1-1-2s, 1-2-2s, 1-3s, 3-2s. So I appreciate her involvement. I appreciate his emotions. And then again, in the octagon, he showed up and showed out, right? The surfing, Dana White loved it. I thought it was a little silly. I think I'd rather see you go for the finish. But hey, you're in there, you're feeling yourself. You just put on a good show.
Fun fact, if you go back and watch his training videos for the last 3 weeks, he drilled that.
What a guy.
He drilled that on not one guy, but multiple partners.
So I guess that, yeah, I mean, hey, the Lord, certainly walks to the beat of his own drum. That's for sure. I mean, he got outstruck in that first round. I think Arnold Allen certainly.
Look, you can't make wine from water or water from wine and not be a little bit kooky. All right.
You can walk on water and you can walk on your opponents. I guess that's one thing we learned. But with Arnold Allen, like I think he's still a hell of a fighter. He did outstrike John Silva in that first round, but it just felt like John really got settled in that second round, third round, and he is every bit as good as we think he is. I think it also goes to show how freaking badass Diego Lopez is. The fact that he was able to put down that dog, so to speak. But I do think if you're a John Silva, you're now sitting at the 6th spot. You got Aljo in front of you. You got a Leron Murphy. You got a Yadier Rodriguez. I mean, Movsar Evloev is kind of an afterthought now, unfortunately, even though he is the number one contender. I think any of those guys, John Silva matches up well. I don't think he necessarily. I don't know if he gets the title shot after this kind of performance. I mean, Arnold Allen is a gamer. He is someone that was coming off a long.
I think you do a title contender fight against him and Leroy. Or sorry, not Leroy. Leron Murphy.
I was gonna say I think that has to be it. I think it has to be a number one contender fight. And when I'm looking at the top 5 outside of John Silva, the guy that I feel that is getting shorted that deserves it the most is definitely Leron Murphy.
Yeah.
But again, obviously Movsar is number one contender.
He's not active, dude.
Yeah, what's going on with him, man?
And he also I'll die on the hill that fight should have been a draw.
Yeah.
Between him and Aljo.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Even Jean versus Aldo, I think, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Or Arnold Allen versus Aljo is a fun fucking scrap.
Well, so is he? Oh, this was 7 months ago. Yeah, Dana White said Movsar was likely to get a title shot if he beat Aaron Pico in Abu Dhabi. Leron Murphy did that. Nothing came from it. So I'm not sure.
It's not linear.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's tough. I mean, Movsar did pull out, so maybe he has to go out and earn that opportunity again. So if he's out the picture, which he basically has been, it's weird to see him number one and not even mention him. So I had to at least throw his name in the ring. But you're John Silva. I mean, an Aljo or a Leron Murphy, I think make the most sense. And it would be for a number one contender in my opinion. So John Silva's a
Leron Murphy fight makes a lot of sense. Number one contender fight. Whoever wins gets the belt.
I don't know who I'm picking in that one though, brother. Leron Murphy's a bad mofo. Dude.
I don't know who I'd pick either, to be honest with you.
I'll have to break it down more, but John Silva, that is a dog-eat-dog fight right there. That's a Rottweiler versus a freaking pit bull, my brother. I don't know how I'd see that play out, but boy, would I be excited to see it.
You and me both. I think I wouldn't make my pick until I saw the odds. We'll follow the juice a little bit.
Got to.
That being said, let's go ahead and move into the prelims, folks. We have a bout between Umar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figueiredo. I mean, look. He might not be the most exciting fighter in the bantamweight division or in the UFC for that matter. But he goes out there and he wins. 103 to 28 strikes is, no matter how you slice it, pretty goddamn impressive. 34 to 8 significant strikes, no matter how you slice it, again, pretty damn impressive. And then 2 to 0 on takedowns. It was pretty much domination, pillar to post. I will say in that first round, Nano, they respected each other a little bit too much for my liking. Let's see what this says. Brotorius MMA is a great name. Brotorius.
Nice. Love that.
Brotorius. Thoughts on Armand saying he wants to move down to 145. How? Is he going to cut a fucking leg off? Have you seen that guy? He's built like a brick shithouse, kid.
And he is infamous for having the coolest eating videos of all time. This guy's always eating straight gourmet. Everywhere he goes, he's eating. Shout out Bartorius for the question there. And the reality is Armand said he can do it. Armand said he can do it.
I don't think
he said him and his team were crunching the numbers. They looked at the science and they did the maths, and he'd be willing to try to do it. But it may be one of those Alex Bejeda in middleweight scenarios where I think a good breeze might knock his ass out. And if he's going in there against Diego Lopez or a Volk, I just don't know how he fares when it comes to that weight cut. It is massive. He's a big, big boy. So I don't.
There's only one way that he makes 145.
Send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
Okay, brother. That's it. There's no calories in Dagestan. Only rivers you swim against stream.
I mean, dude, he's so shredded. I just don't.
I don't understand. I don't know where he cut the weight.
I honestly don't. He'd have to cut off an arm, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
That's huge. Huge.
He'd be armless Sarukian. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Zinger. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Got
Down. What up, brother?
Oh, the best. How would John Silva versus Steve Garcia go? Fun. It would go fun. Garcia. Fucking Garcia does not pass. I think it'd go fun. I think it'd be a very fantastic fight for the fans. How would it go from a betting standpoint, or who would win? I don't know. The fans,
a lot
would
of
win.
violence. Yeah, we would all
Fans
win. I like Steve Garcia a lot, John Dong.
Same.
I'm glad you bring him into the conversation here. He has entered the chat. I mean, he is a violent fighter. So is Jean Silva. I do think Jean might have an advantage when it comes to the wrestling and the grappling and the jiu-jitsu. But if they just sat there and pointed to the middle of the octagon, Max Holloway style, I don't know. There's not a lot of guys that can weather that Steve Garcia storm. I mean, that dude is a freaking beast.
I do have another fight actually that just came to mind for the loser of that fight, Arnold Allen.
Naomi.
Youssef Zalal, our guy.
There he is, our boy.
Our boy.
Get him in there. Get him in there.
Bro, that him versus Arnold Allen would be a banger.
That would be a banger.
Like
Yeah.
Uncontrollable energy in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Yusuf hasn't fought since October. I think he's itching. Maybe they're working on something behind the scenes, but like a thief in the night, I hope he's ready to pounce when his opportunity comes, man. Because we would definitely be run for Yusuf Zalal. Best energy out of all the fighters we met over the years at the expo and just at events, he's one of my
The
favorite.
best energy.
Yeah, literally, fantastic guy. Hell of a smile.
Doing fucking bunny ears on
Rude Boy Randy Brown.
Rude Boy Randy Brown while we're trying to take a picture with him. That was funny as fuck, bro.
You gotta appreciate it. I mean, he's
doing
a kid
the
at
stare
heart.
down with me and being like, bro, you actually had me scared there a little bit. I appreciated him inflating my ego.
Hey, I love it, man. Anything helps, man. But no, he's a good guy, and he certainly deserves it. That's the reality. He deserves it.
Absolutely. So, look, I don't care to spend a ton of time talking about this bantamweight bout between Umar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figgy, can't you see? Figgy drops one position. The opposition does not move. I think it's got to be an Umar rematch against Merab Dvalishvili, unless you give Umar the instantaneous title shot over Merab Dvalishvili, which I couldn't see happening. And if you slate those two against each other in an instantaneous rematch, Merab and Piotr, those guys being, then you do Umar versus Sean O'Malley for a title contender / title eliminator fight.
I think you're right on the money. I think these four guys are definitely interchangeable in a lot of ways. I feel that Umar, the reality of the situation. Thank you, Joe. Is we knew going into this and we talked about it, like he's not the most exciting fighter, and I think it would have been huge. In fact, this was the fight to go out there and take out your opponent, like win decisively, make yourself the obvious choice to finally get that gold belt wrapped around your waist. But the reality is, brother, he didn't do just that. Yeah, he won, but it was, like you said, respectable. It was a little lackluster. He really didn't take those chances, and you got to take chances in this kind of sport. I mean, I understand you're putting your life on the line, and I mean, we know what Umar is, but it's just, we've seen it happen too many times. It's a tale as old as time. Like, if you aren't making yourself obvious, there's someone else that's going to put the butts in seats. And unfortunately, someone like a Suga Show who just has the name appeal, who has the following, there's a good chance that Piotr is going to get that call, and he would accept that call because he wants to wrong that right as well. He lost to Suga a while ago. Umar has never had that opportunity. So maybe to your point, like I could see potentially a Piotr versus Suga for the title. It's big name. It's big stakes. I mean, shit, Suga has a potential path to win that fight. And then maybe you do Merab versus Nurmagomedov too. That fight was so gosh darn close that it definitely warrants a second round through. I mean, a 3-rounder wouldn't really scratch my itch. I think it'd have to be a main event. It'd have to be a 5-rounder. And then the winner of those two fights would square off for a title contender down the road. And if it's a Suga versus Umar or a Piotr versus Umar, which again, we're assuming he beats a Merab, which he's the machine. You can try to stop the machine, but you can't put him out. I mean, that's a tough one. All in all, I think those are the 4 obvious choices right now for that title contender and number 1 contender matchups. However it lays out, Dana White will obviously make those decisions. And how long is Merab going to be out? All questions to be answered. But Umar didn't really punch his ticket with that fight, in my opinion. And that's the reality of it. Love the kid. But, man, you got to find a way to stand out. And he, didn't do that against a Figgy, who is tough. I mean, let's give him credit where it's due. Figgy's a tough as nails, but he came in heavier than. I mean, he was almost a freaking featherweight in there. Gosh darn it! But yeah, I think I would
didn't look it though inside of the octagon. Umar still looked fucking way bigger than him.
Yeah, crazy. So I don't know what happened there. That's an absolute blunder. But Umar, I think he's still a little bit more that needs to be determined here with him. I don't think he punched his ticket. That's just my gut feeling on this one.
And shout out to the best chat in the fucking world. Lazy Bad MMA, shout out, brother. Love seeing you in the chat. Lovingly boop the like button, folks. Boop. You heard the man. Boop. And then, of course, Dix Insider, keeping it classy, says, finger banging like Joey Diaz style. All right?
Shout out, DC.
Let's fucking
man.
go. Joey Kung Fu.
Joey Diaz, a legend, just like you, DC.
Legend.
Appreciate you, brother.
You want to get to him, you got to go through us. And Spider-Man, too.
Get it going. Get it going.
Get it going. I'm fine. Get it going.
Get it going.
Can of corn. Man, speaking of somebody who needed a can of corn, Ateba Gautier. I can't help but feel like everybody got the roadmap on how to beat this guy on Saturday because he should have lost this fight, right? I'm glad he didn't because I picked him in the Underdogs League. He was not one of my underdogs, obviously. He was like a minus fucking 10,000 favorite. But look, I mean, he got 2 knockdowns, and that's great. But he got outlanded by a guy he was supposed to go through there and blast by 15 strikes, almost 20 strikes, actually. 34 to 59 in total strikes, 34 to 59 in significant strikes. So Andre Pulev, make no mistake, outstruck him on total and significant strikes. The only reason that Ateba Gautier got the win here is because he got a knockdown in rounds 1 and 2. And those knockdowns essentially win you the entire fucking round. That Pulev bet wasn't so bad after all. Dixon, I swear to God, bro, I was thinking about you the whole fucking fight. That whole fight, I'm like, oh my God, is this fucking lunatic going to make money on this fight right now? The least juicy odds in the entire world. You're like, I'm going to pick the dog that has no chance. Turns out, the dog had a lot of fucking bark in him and even more of a chance. I mean, who is that? Is that... No. Do you have Charles Johnson in the McDonald's hat? Who's in the McDonald's hat, Dixon? Don't do that. Who is that?
It's someone new.
Is that Energy? Bro, why are you doing that? That's our homie. Why are you doing that, bro?
I think it is. Gosh darn it. We'll get there.
Oh, man. Fuck. Ateba Gautier. I mean, this fight was a letdown. Right? Like, I feel like Ateba himself must have bet money against the finish happening. So, man. It's CJ. Okay. It is Charles Johnson. God damn it. Oh, yeah.
That was brutal. Brutal.
That's tough. We're going to pour up a shot for that one very soon, folks.
Oh, yeah.
But before we do, Nano, what were your thoughts on Mr. Jean-Paul Gaultier not getting it done?
Yeah, I was disappointed for sure. I think, especially how it
not
started
mad, I'm
off.
just disappointed.
Very disappointed, man. I mean, he dropped him in the first 30 seconds, and then he let him back up, and I think that was kind of the whole. That was like perfectly.
We put 3 units on him, bro. We put 3 units on him. If we didn't bet on him or the only other heart bet that we made in the entire card, we would be up a half unit. Instead, we'll get into it in a little bit, but we're not up.
Yeah, we're not up, my brother. We're right there with you, DC.
We super fucking lost, man.
Yeah. That was a tough one. I'm right there with you, Dixon. I lost some dignity, lost my French bulldog. I lost my ego. But you know what? We're going to keep going and keep growing. Plenty of ball game left. We're going to go ahead and make it
Congratulations.
up. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations to DraftKings for taking all our goddamn money. And that's what we get for going.
Fucking prison.
Well, maybe someone's going. We'll talk about that fight as well. But I'll tell you what, man. This one felt like a little bit of a robbery as well. I think certainly not what we expected. At the end of the day, I think Ateba should have just kept his foot on the gas. You don't let your opponent get back up. And why not just go out there and go balls to the wall? Like, you have him hurt. I just felt like, I don't know if it was his gas tank or – because we see that a lot too, right? You don't want to – empty the gas tank out and then you have nothing left in you. So I can understand some of the logic there, but the reality is he got outstruck every round. Yeah, he had some heavier punches. and maybe that's where the scoring can, use some reworking, unlike boxing where you get knocked down and you count and you lose the point. Because to me, it's like
you get knocked down and you get up again and they give you another fucking 10 count.
Yeah, I mean, that's
then they give you another 10 count.
Yeah, I just feel like it was a less than stellar performance from Ateba Gautier. I think he had a lot of hype, but he would probably tell you, well, I wanted the 15 minutes of experience. I wanted to get the experience and know how it feels. Like, okay, well, no, I think
you don't get to do that post-emptively. Like, you can do it if you're Keelan Salkeld, who said it Wednesday before his fight. The only time he ever went to decision. He's like, yeah, you guys keep saying I can't go to decision, so maybe I'll drag it out.
Fair. That I'll take. But
and then the next one, he fucking finished the Baker and got a little angry Baker tattoo on his foot.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is the fight IQ. Like, Ateba is a raw prospect, but he wasn't really cutting the angles. He didn't really know when to hit the gas. And so I think a lot to be desired. I was rooting for the KO from Ateba, so obviously I'm a little bitter, but I think he is still so young, and this will only make him better. Like we're talking about, obviously going 15 minutes is impactful for you as a fighter. You know what it feels like. You can say you've done it. But I do think cutting angles and maybe developing more of the legs and ripping the body as far as the striking is concerned, I think can go a long way for someone like him. We know he has the one-punch power, but, go to Muay Thai for 2-3 years and forget. Go to Dagestan. Maybe learn, just challenge yourself to pick up more.
Go to Thailand 2-3 years and forget.
And he might be a real problem at that point. But I think for now, Andre Pulyayev, almost Pulyayev the upset, but I do think that brighter days will be ahead for Ateba. So,
yeah, I mean, he almost Pulyayev that one out of his ass. And I mean, just confirming, you do agree it was a robbery?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the scoring can take a relooking when, like, you drop him in the first 30 seconds, but then you get outstruck the rest of the fight. It's like each round too. It wasn't like just.
Every round.
You break it down, he was getting outstruck. Again, those moments are big, but when you don't even follow it up or you don't really have him on skates or put him out, it's hard to say that was definitively his round, right? Again, I think he got the Dana White privilege in that one. I think he was realistically probably the better fighter, but Andre had a better night. Again, weathering those storms and getting back up, like, that should be worth something. It's not like he was just left there stranded. It's like, dude, he got dropped. He was trying to throw a leg kick. He hit him with a hard shot. I mean, those things happen. But, yeah, I obviously got the win on the scorecard, but it didn't win in my scorebook, if we're calling it that. So I do think it could have went a little different for him. And maybe that's on Andre as well. Maybe you score a takedown or two. Maybe it changes things up. But less than 100 strikes total in this fight. Some big ones, of course, but
it's a weird one.
Want to see more. Yeah, want to see more.
It was definitely a weird one. But, I mean, hey, if you agree that it's a robbery, then absolutely.
For real? Damn, it must be true.
You know what I'm saying, bro? It must be true. Because we don't agree very often on these things.
We use our eyes. See in the eyes.
The good old eyeball test, you know what I'm saying? So you're pouring yours up. I'm going to pour mine up as well. We know we've got one to do for this next one.
We are in this shot. God damn it.
Oh, man, it was tough. You know what's crazy? You ever go out to a restaurant and, like, you order a spicy dish, right? Like, I'm talking super fucking spicy. Like, the guy warns you when you order it. And the first, like, 3 to 10 bites, you're like, this is fucking heaven. This is bliss. I'm so happy I ignored the server's warnings. This is great. This is the best dish I've ever had. And then once you get to, like, bite 19, bite 20, you're like, the server was trying to save me. I've made a terrible, terrible decision here. What I once loved, I now hate. That was this fight. Okay, that was this fight. Round 1, our guy fucking Big Modi B, he's coming out here. He's fucking throwing the 3-2. Bah, bah! Just pawing at him with that lead hook. Boom, boom, down the pipe. And it's nasty stuff. And it lands. It's landing ad nauseum. I think he landed that same combo 4 times in round 1. And I even texted the group chat, like, dear diary, today Modi B landed a great combo in round 1. And then about 3 minutes into round 2, he had done the same combo 6 times. And like I love the spicy dish. I get it every time. But I can't eat there every day, because that shake's gonna give me heartburn. And it's just too predictable for me. So that's what happened with his opponent here. The man across from him, Nikita Krylov, who is already a herky-jerk style fighter, as I like to call him. He's all over the fucking place. You can't get a beat on him. The worst thing you can do is give him a beat on you and make it easy for him to make the reads. Just throwing a 3-2 every time you get in range, ha. Brother, as soon as I notice that that's your entry, I'm here. I'm letting you fucking throw that first one. The second you throw it, this is staying here. Boom! And I'm blasting you. And what do you fucking know? That's what Nikita Krylov started doing. He started just piecing him up with a straight jab at range or eating up the fucking legs early on, right? Early and often. So it was tough. It was very tough to watch, but at least our guy Modi B had great moments in that fight. Unlike the Charles Johnson fight that we'll talk about next, that one was a lot tougher to swallow. But what might be equally as tough to swallow after we've already done a handful is another shot, folks. If you're drinking, drink with us. I see you, El Capitan Raf. I see you, Dixon. I'm going to get to that comment in just a sec. But before then, cheers, folks.
Salud. Let's go. Man, Modi B. Gotta give credit where it's due, right? Nikita Krylov is a stud. Ooh. Oh, this is coming back. Yeah,
Hold
man.
on.
I mean,
this is a great comment. Olin and Nano, so I have to confess. Tonight I messaged this local OnlyFans model. These are my confessions. He messaged a local OnlyFans model that he fell in love with and tried to evangelize her.
Oh.
And she actually said she'll convert, but you got to tip her first. All right, so two things to say to this. One, congratulations, my friend. You know what? Let me just let the man, the myth, the legend say it himself.
Congratulations.
Okay, that's huge. All right, you did it. And two, how much is she asking you to tip? Because I mean, that feels like a big step. And I just want to make sure that you're paying this woman what she's earned, with this feat. So maybe not feet. I don't know what kind of OnlyFans it is. Bad jokes.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I also love that you're currently homeless but still tipping the OnlyFans girls. I mean, you are just stimulating the economy, and we appreciate you so much, Dixon.
Priorities at its finest. Well, I'll tell you what, DC, I think appreciate you supporting your local talent. I think the evangelization and monetization should be mutually exclusive here. It feels like there may be a little bait and switch going on. I work in sales. My boy to the left of me as well. And I think we would be remiss to say that, hey, a little white lie goes a long way when negotiations are had. So I may tell someone I have kids. I don't have kids. So she may be telling you, yeah, I'll evangelize. Go ahead and tip me first. And then they may not come to fruition. So again,
respectfully, now I'm going to stop you right there. Okay. Now respectfully, in the church, they make you tip when you go there and you worship. So
that is true.
I mean, they are not mutually exclusive things. Now I'll say. Yeah. Hold on just a minute now. No.
I do declare.
Let me did I remind you, you are under oath.
I think that's what you got to hit her with, DC, is may I remind you.
May I remind you, ma'am, you are under oath. So, do you like pool parties, miss?
Oh, well.
They both have a business.
Give us some reconnaissance work on how that goes, and don't
hit us up in the DMs. We'll advise.
I guess you can't go homeless twice, so do what you got to do. Make it worthwhile, and whatever you do, and that's to everybody here, do it responsibly. So what about Capitan? We see you.
If I've learned anything, it's that Dixon Sider needs his bets to cash this week.
Well, you keep messing around, DC. It's going to be you in the McDonald's imagery here with the
careful now. Careful now.
Be easy now.
Putting a couple coins in the collection plate at the Tabernacle of Titties. That's
well said.
comment to read out loud. Oh my God.
I wish that needs to be.
This is why we call it the No Filter Show. We do not proofread comments before we pull them up on the screen, obviously.
We're letting
Hashtag TOT.
TOT.
I'm down with TOT. Yeah, you know me. Oh, man.
Tabernacle. That is.
So speaking of tabernacles, Nano, give your thoughts on this Nikita Krylov TKO buzzer beater.
Well, that's what pissed me off about this was it was a buzzer beater. 3 seconds left, and Modi B just couldn't escape it. But yeah, I think to your point, it did feel like Modi B was trying to go to the well too much. Shout out Anita here. Get laid. Ilya would beat current Connor. Yeah, I think Ilya might beat prime Connor, for being honest. Ilya is built a little different. His boxing, his balance, his power, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu. I mean, Anita, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ilya beats a lot of people in a lot of their primes. He is one of one.
Oh, that's fucking heartbreaking.
DC had Krylov by decision. Oh.
3 seconds.
Oh, literally
3 seconds. It's giving me flashbacks to the 7-leg parlay that Juliana Pena beat Amanda Nunes and killed.
Oh, and I was there to witness that live. I apologize. Yeah, I mean,
terrible. You had up a decision. That's the worst.
It's the worst beat. That's a bad beat.
Please, Dixon. I don't want to make you relive this, but what were the odds on that? Because I know they had to have been juicy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Modi B was the Ben favorite. I think that he looked good, but to your point, I think it was one of those things like sometimes when you're a dominant fighter and you have your training partners and you're one of the guys and you can't, like, you don't know what losing looks like. Or I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's hard to replicate a Nikita Krylov, but I don't think that Modestas Bukauskas put himself in enough bad positions or put himself in enough adversity to know what it was going to be like here. The reality is he was outstruck in every round. The other reality is that Nikita is someone that, wasn't going away. Like, you hit him with your 1-2, your 2-1s, your head kicks, you have good movement. You're still talented. You're still a great athlete. But I think, we got to find that fifth gear and we got to make sure we put that dog down. You can't let him stick around in this kind of fight because, especially in the light heavyweight division and most divisions, all it takes is one to really change it up. And that's what happened here. I don't think that Modestas Bukauskas was going to get the decision win based on how it was trending, but to get KO'd in the 14 and 55th second, 57th second, like whatever it was. I mean, you made it that far. I mean, it just sucks to see it go down like that. But I think a lot of that is just, hey, back to the drawing board, put yourself in some more compromised positions when it comes to the training camp, and and then trust the process and leave it all out there. I mean, it's a tough one. You're still my guy. I'm still gonna be rooting for you. You're still on my fantasy team. I think you'll be able to bounce back, but let's change some things up and make sure you have more than just the same wishing well that you're going to, like my boy said here to the left of me. I think it's a tough game. Can't win them all. So shout out Nikita for getting it done, but Modi B, I have nothing but faith in you, brother. You're going to bounce back and be better than ever. That I do know.
Absolutely, man. And look, we hate to see this type of thing happen, but it is just a normal setback in the sport that we love so much, right? Like, we see these guys go on a bit of a tear, and then they have whatever setbacks they may be. I heard a rumor that our guy Modi B did this entire fight camp in his garage. So if that's the case, that explains a lot. It explains the predictability and just not being able to think on the feet the way that he wasn't able to. Nikita Krylov did outland him 2-1 essentially on total strikes, 94-43, rather a little over 2-1, and 40-72 on significant strikes, with Krylov leading the dance there. He landed 1 of 4 takedowns to the 0 in for Modestas Bukauskas. I was surprised Modestas didn't try and take it to the ground a little bit more. He simply just didn't lead the dance as much as he needed to. He was letting a herky-jerk fighter that's hard to predict lead. Best way to defeat those types of guys is to not let them get their opposition off and not let them get started. Create that kind of false start mentality. El Capitan said, I had Gaethje winning and I fucking won. Let's go, dude. Congrats.
Oh boy. Let's go.
Love that. Hope you cash big. Mark Smith tore his ACL in that fight for stopping that fight at the last second. That was karma for robbing us. Did y'all see Mark get carried out of the arena? I thought he tore his ACL during the Ateba Gautier fight. But he did tear his ACL. He got carried out of the arena. The ref. It was a weird night.
What the? I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Yeah, he took a... So, I think it was at the very end of round 2. Ateba landed a strike, and he jumped back. And when he jumped back, you see him audibly or like visibly grab his knee. And then for all of round 3, he was kind of like hobbling around. And then right after that, they basically had to carry him out of the arena.
Oh, yeah. I'm watching it now. Yeah.
Shout out Janet is here. Young fella on the right looks like Howie D from the Backstreet Boys. I want it that way.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Tell me why.
I never want to hear you say, I want it that way.
We do have similar hairlines, so shout out to Janet is here for that one. I couldn't agree more with you. And I'll take any and all doppelganger comparison.
Oh, somebody clip that. All of it. Oh, man.
Yeah, Lazy Bed, we are off the rails at this point.
That was good. Hey, shout out Leroy from the Fight Week show. 2 legends and a solid chat. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go.
Miss you, Leroy.
Oh, man. Mark Smith also robbed me in Marquez versus Brundage. I'm not glad he's injured. I'm just glad he's not going to rob me anymore. At least for like 6 months. A bit of a recovery on that ACL.
Dude, as I get older and seeing these kind of things, I saw like a poker player tear his ACL recently. Mark Smith, I mean, yeah, it was against Ateba.
Bruce Buffer did it when he announced the GSP fight like 10 years ago.
Oh, my God.
GSP versus Johnny Hendricks, I believe.
It's exactly why I'm never playing a pickup basketball game.
Dude.
Again, because it's like, it's too likely to happen. I messed my knee up running a freaking 3K this weekend. And it wasn't anything big. I would just describe like I felt it. And then we're at a rave after watching Diplo, and I'm like, one leg just trying to pump my fists. It was
welcome to my life.
Yeah,
how many years have you heard me complaining about my fucking knees popping?
The 30s are hitting me tough, my brother.
Congratulations.
The 30s are looking this man in the mirror every day like,
I'm coming.
Oh, you fucking young ass.
Oh, man.
Oh, let's see. Brotorius MMA says thoughts on the future of light heavyweight, Poatan to heavyweight, and Yuri versus Olberg. I mean, we don't have any thoughts. You just laid it out for us, Brotorius. I've been saying this for months now. Yuri versus Olberg for the vacated belt, I just think makes a lot of sense, especially if Poatan's going to heavyweight for real. It's a logical fight. Both guys have a lot of market value, a lot of marketability as fighters, and they're both exciting. So why not put them in the cage together and see what happens? I think it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, I agree. Pretorius, love the question. I think the future of light heavyweight division, historically speaking, it's been one of the best, one of the most stacked. If Poatan leaves, it certainly puts that division in a little bit of a transition period, right? Like, there's no obvious answer on who the champion is going to be, but then maybe that's a great thing for us because you throw all these top contenders in there, whether it's a Carlos Ulberg, a Yuri, a Khalil, but then you start going down the list. Like, to be honest, as I'm thinking about it now, it feels like it's kind of an aging division. So I'm hoping the cream rises to the top and we get a new young contender or two. But it's to be honest, probably one of the most stagnant divisions that we've seen throughout all the different divisions here in the UFC. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts as well. But again, if Alex leaves, all of a sudden it can be a bloodbath for who the champion is, for who that next it guy is. But historically speaking, it's been one of the most stacked we've seen, right? You think of the Randy Couture's, you think of the Cain Velasquez's, Junior Dos Santos, a lot of great names. But yeah, I just think that it's in a strange position now, especially if Alex leaves. That's just the reality of it. So curious to see what happens in that division. Probably the most intrigue in my opinion.
And then as far as what's next for Nikita Krylov, the name that I had on the tip of my tongue was Bukauskas, right? Like, I just think that this guy is an absolute beast. He did have that recent draw against Jan Blachowicz, so it doesn't make sense to pole vault him up super high off of a draw. Let him prove his worth against somebody like a Nikita Krylov. Again, I think that fight makes a lot of sense. He has a recent win over Krylov, but Krylov has earned that kind of rematch against him, and it was a quick knockout in round 1 when they did fight. So maybe a little bit too soon for your liking, but I don't know. I mean, outside of that, maybe you give him Jan, but again, either one of those fights I do think makes a lot of sense. I like the Nikita one a lot more for Bogdan. I like the Jan one more for Nikita.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I had those similar names on my short list of up-and-coming next opponents, so I think we run one of those as well. DC. Oh, my gosh. Your comments are too much, man. Love it.
Poatan is cursed now that he's dipped his nugget in the sweet nectars of Tracy Cortez. It's like the Madden cover. He's lost his superpowers like Samson in the Bible with Delilah got.
Oh, jeez. Deep cut. That's a deep cut, DC. Okay. DC stands for deep cuts.
I always, whenever anybody mentions Samson from the Bible, I always think of Samson from Marvel Comics. He's a Hulk villain who gets his power from his hair through gamma radiation.
Oh, shit.
He's such a savage, bro. You should look up
Hell
Samson.
yeah. I am looking him up right now.
He's such a badass, bro. He's got a dark ass comic run.
Doc Samson.
Oh, Doc Samson, bro. Not light heavyweight, but interesting little shakeup at heavyweight that Kennedy and Zechikwu out of his upcoming bout with Vitor Petrino. Steven Asplund taking his place. How did none of us draft Steven Asplund?
It's a good question. Yeah, it's a missed opportunity.
Congratulations, Lazy Bed. You've made me very sad.
Congratulations.
Great shout, though.
Great shout. That does make me very sad, though. Oh, man. With that being said, let's go on and get into this flyweight bout that we've been avoiding talking about because we have another shot to do.
Yep.
Alex Perez and our guy, Charles Inner G. Johnson. Dix Insider has him in his display picture. You fucking dick. Man. Brotorius asks, fight you're most looking forward to on Volk versus Lopez card. I'll pour a shot and we'll do our shot and talk about that before we talk about this fucked up fight in which our guy thought he was still fighting and tried to double leg his opponent while he was already climbing on the cage in celebration.
Brutal.
That was tough to watch. That was tough to watch. Cheers, folks. To the better times.
Salute. Appreciate the question, bro. Torius.
Oh man,
curious to hear who you're most excited for on this card as well. But me personally, I mean, and I'll stick on that main event because
take my pick. I swear to God.
Well, there's a good chance, but it's someone that I mean, it's two fighters that I have a lot of respect for that have a lot on the line. It's not the main or co-main.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's the one right before him.
Yep. Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
It's an obvious one.
I know that. All right, go ahead. Do your thing. I'll pick another one.
Half of it's because I have Mauricio Hufi in my fantasy team, but Mauricio Hufi against a Rafael Fiziev is one that, man, oh man, I think that fight could happen in a back alleyway somewhere, like a Rocky 5 status, and I would be juiced to see this one. I mean, they are two guys that I have a lot of respect for that have a lot to fight for.
Hey, yo, Tommy, I heard no bell ring. One more round, Tommy. One more round.
Me down there.
You knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now?
Oh, there's no ring. My ring's outside.
Hey, you sue me for what?
Sue me for what? Oh, yeah, listen, man. I mean, that one is just has me foaming at the mouth. Okay, has me foaming at the mouth. I love both those guys. I have a lot of respect for them. We're gonna see some crazy leg kicks. We're gonna see some great offense, some great defense. I'd be hard pressed to find a more intriguing fight. But brother, I know I saw your thunder. Anything else that's staying top of mind, or even give us your comments on that fight from Brotorius?
I mean, look, you laid it all out. Like, I have a lot of respect for both those guys. You got one Muay Thai practitioner. You know, I love my Muay Thai. That's my discipline of speciality. And then Mauricio Hufi is a just flow state fighter, if we've ever seen one. He's the second coming of Conor McGregor, mixed with a little dash of Israel Adesanya, and just a hint of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, if you see his little leg sweep takedown. But I mean, it's a great fight, right? Like, there's obvious reasons to pick it as your number one fight outside of the main and co-main event. Outside of that, gonna call a spade here, folks. Keelan Salkild does not know how to put on a boring performance. The one time he's had a fight go to decision, he told us. He told us it was gonna go to decision. He let you guys know. He let every one of us know that we've been talking shit, saying, you know, maybe he can't go 15 minutes. Maybe he's just a finisher, and if it goes past that, he's in trouble. He wanted to prove it to himself and to us that he could do it, and he did. And then right after that, he got right back to his finishing ways. Interested to see Salkild versus a gatekeeper. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about that right now, actually. Now, standing across from Keelan Salkild is the epitome of a gatekeeper. Jamie Malarkey. I know his last name is Malarkey, but if I had to describe him, I would say he is a no Malarkey style fighter. You know what I'm saying? No fluff, no bullshit, just fundamentals. We like to call them meat and potato style fighters here on the show, and he's exactly that. And it also helps that his jawline and his eyebrows protrude like fucking 6 inches. You know those like things that you chew on to make your jawline grow and get more distinct?
Oh yeah.
He should definitely seek a career in marketing for those guys and gals right after his UFC 10, because my goodness, he is just ready. He's ready to make those guys some money.
Like the Crimson Chin.
You want to know how I got my jawline like this? Well, I did this biting thing for like 30 times a day, and yeah, just 30 reps and you're good to go.
He's like me, myself, and Irene after that new chin.
Like
the Crimson Chin.
Me, myself, and Irene chin.
He's like, damn, daddy. So you can wipe your ass and blow your nose at the same time. He's like, oh, kids.
Oh.
I gotta go rewatch that movie. Too good.
Oh man. When you do, I'm gonna make you laugh even harder. Fun fact. The scene where they're all sitting in front of the TV and he kisses the 3 kids before he goes to work, that was not in the script. Like, so literally Jim Carrey just decided, he's like, I'm gonna kiss him. I'm gonna kiss 2 of them on the lips. And that's why when you see like the first one he kisses on the lips, he's like,
you're like legit like, oh damn.
It's all, I didn't see that in the script.
No, keep it in there.
Finding out little ad-lib things about that kind of shit is like so fun for me, bro.
Oh, dude, that is the
like best. I read one today. It was like the extended version of Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship. There's like a scene where Gimli and Legolas are drinking against each other. They're having a drinking competition, and obviously neither of them were drunk. But I think his name's John Rhys Meyers, the guy that plays Gimli. He like is obviously a dwarf, and he's challenging this elf. They're supposed to be perfect, like they walk perfect in snow, etc. So like he's shithoused, and Orlando Bloom practiced like looking drunk without looking drunk, I guess you could say. And basically like just seeing them play out the scene after like it was none of that scene was scripted. Those two just came up with it after having a night drinking. And then they were like, yeah, let's put this in the film. And he's like, there's a part where like he's like, what do you think? And Legolas is like, my lips have a slight tingle. I think I'm starting to feel it. The dwarf like passes the fuck out. I knew you couldn't handle your liquor. It's like, I fucking love moments like that. Like completely unscripted, where people are like, hey, I think the characters would do this. And they just fucking go for it. It's a good ass time, bro.
I think those weren't the best movies. Like, and I think producers that allow a little bit of that flexibility, they're always the best. Let's be real.
They are. You got to give the wiggle room, bro. You got to give the wiggle room for growth. So yeah, great question, bro. Torius. I am interested in the same one as you, and also the same one as Nano, apparently. So with that,
to break it down soon. So tune in
Thursday
later this week, brother. Yep.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it, my guy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the bell for notifications so you know when we're live on Thursday. And let's go ahead and talk about this sad fight that we had between Alex Perez and Charles Johnson. 55-8 on total strikes, 39-8 on significant strikes. Every strike that Charles Johnson landed was considered significant. That's something to hang your hat on. Look, it was a tough performance to watch because he was just constantly trying to push his pace against Alex Perez, and Alex was not taking a back step. Charles doesn't do well when people don't take a back step against him. He's not great at moving backwards and fighting, and when he does move backwards, he does two things. He either puts his hands up and guard really well, or he gets overconfident and moving outside of striking range. And that's what we saw more of in this fight, was he was getting overconfident, moving outside of striking range. And you can go back and watch me. Or no, you can't, because we actually went live late. Ola was sleeping in. But man, we were off air, and there were three of us on the non-live stream, and I was screaming my ass off that he was circling the wrong fucking way. It was driving me nuts, bro. Like, you have not a power puncher, but a guy who does have a power right hand, and you are circling to your left like this every time. Every time he would circle left, he would dip his head down like 2 to 3 inches. And when he would do that, Perez was making the reads. He is not a wet behind the ears kind of fighter. He's been here. He's done this show and dance many times before. So when he sees someone doing this, he makes the read and just starts slicing that right hand uppercut in. And he hit him 5 times that I counted with that in that first round. Mind you, the fight lasted 3 minutes and 16 seconds. It was not a long fight by any means. But again, going back to the fight before this and everything that went wrong in that, we had our fighter win the first round. He dominated the first round, in my opinion, but then he got predictable in rounds 2 and 3 and just dropped the fight ultimately. This fighter got predictable from the very start. He came in thinking he was going to walk through him in the same exact way that he walked through his most recent opponent, and it simply was not the case. Alex was here to bang. Alex was here to move forward and here to disrupt the motion and movement of Charles Johnson, and that's exactly what he did. It was tough to watch. It was tough to witness as a Charles Energy Johnson fan, but I mean, Alex Perez got the win, and he did everything he needed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. It was hard to watch our guy get knocked out so bad that he jumped up and then tried to go and shoot a double leg on a fighter after the fight had already been called. Always tough scenes, but I digress. He did not take a ton of damage, only eating 55 strikes. Though he did get knocked out, he'll have that 6-month or 3-month concussion protocol, and then he'll be able to get back in training. I'd like to think we'll probably see him in there again in April.
Yeah, love to see him back in there as soon as possible. I mean, this was a tough one. Obviously, we were going for Charles Energy Johnson. I have the utmost respect for him, and I love that he even brought his daughter out on the ceremonial weigh-ins, like a lot of the hard feels. And it was funny because Dominic Cruz kind of called it. He was like, yeah, he's like Alex is going to go out here and play spoiler. He's really focused. He's a gamer, and both these guys are. So, you know, I think, again, rose-colored glasses certainly poke through here, but Alex Perez certainly deserves the credit, man. I mean, he went out there and perfectly executed on what we love to call dirty boxing. I mean, he was in the pocket. He was making it muddy, and it was just peppering his opponent until one of them really just had Charles. All it takes is one, and that was like a perfect example of just one punch really, really changing the outcome and the trajectory of this fight. Charles just was not able to really recover. Shout out Lazy Betty for the comment. Sucks for Charles, but the tweet afterwards from Van was hilarious. Uh-oh, there goes the rematch. Ooh. That's the champ staying relevant. I love to see Joshua Van doing what he needs to do and keeping an ear to the pavement there. And yeah, I mean, that could have been, right? I mean, I think let's call it what it is. Charles Energy Johnson was potentially on a crash course to get a title contendership, but Alex Perez played upset, and I just got to say, I think Charles Energy Johnson, great fighter, but we need to get him a new barber. I was not a fan of the haircut. The cul-de-sac.
Not a fan of the George Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, the George Jefferson hair does not work for me. Not to, beat a man while he's already down, but let's go ahead and just either shave it all off or maybe just a rat tail. I don't know. Not the best look, but again, Alex Perez is who we need to focus in on. I mean, this guy's 26-10. He has 7 wins by knockout now, 7 wins by decision, 12 first round finishes. This guy is every bit as good as we thought. I don't know why, we look at him and we just think, let's call it what is he? Tatsuro Taira beat him. Azu Almabayev beat him. He lost to Alexander Pantoja a few years ago. So, I mean, he's only losing to the best of the best, but he is still every bit of a contender as he once was, to call it what it is. So, it's a bummer.
He's also had 13 canceled bouts with the UFC specifically in a 6-year time span.
So that's what it is. It's just bad luck, I guess. I don't know.
He's had injuries. He's had bad weight cuts. He's had to pull out from fights on short notice. It makes it hard to trust that guy to give him a title shot.
Okay, that's different then. Yeah, it's different. It's one thing if your opponents are the ones that, are putting you in that spot. But if it's him, yeah,
I think he had 3 canceled bouts against Matt Schnell specifically, and Matt Schnell only pulled out, 4. And Matt Schnell pulled out of 1 of those.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But I did have Charles, and we suck again, as a wise man once said. But all good. Shout out, Alex. You did a great job. Charles will bounce back. I know it. He's a G. They call him Energy for a reason. But on to the next one. And I think if you're Alex, I mean, you're not getting Joshua Van. Let's call it what it is. But I think someone like a Tim at Elliott would be a really, really fun bout.
Yes.
Personally.
That'd be a very fun match. And it would be something that you don't have to really worry about, right? Like,
yep. He's in a show.
Johnson's or Tim Elliott's going to take a fight against anybody else, even if Alex pulls out on short notice.
Yeah. So I think
I definitely like that.
Yeah.
I know Johnson's size at 125 is a big advantage, but is it time to consider 135 and a bit less of a weight cut? 35 years old can't be easy. Great question, first and foremost, Lazy Bed. Second, I would say, yeah, it is time. I think if he moved to 135 now, sooner rather than later, before the end of his career, rather, he could see a mass resurgence in the same way, or at least a similar way that Dustin Poirier did when he went from featherweight to lightweight.
Yeah, I think it could
make it harder to knock out, and also he has great angles. He has great footwork. Let him utilize that and not have to focus so much on the weight cut and be able to join a little more power and torque in those shots.
Man, yeah, I think that would benefit him. I think talking about the chin specifically, but man, when you look at that bantamweight division right now, I mean, the top 15 is literally big guys, right? Peyton Talbot, Vinicius, Oliveira, Mario Batista, even a Kyler
I think he matches up well against Jackson. Like a Mario Bautista, Marlon Vera, or a Song Yadong if he went up.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I mean, I think it does work out for a lot of fighters.
That is fair. He's 5'8". He'll still be a fairly large bantamweight. Like I'm 5'9", and I'm currently 195, 196. So like, or 5'10". So yeah, I mean, like 2-inch difference, 5 weight class difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, shit, Justin Gaethje is about to be 38, and he's the interim champion. So I think that if you're looking at Charles Energy and where he is now, still a couple years and really a fight or two away. You go up, you're going to get a ranked opponent, in my opinion, and then you're 1 or 2 wins away from really being able to do some legit damage and be in a similar spot where you already are now, and you're not going through the weight cut and you're not diminishing your chin. There is a point of diminished returns, right, on investment, and I think, yeah, the body may suggest you might as well give it a shot. You know, I great shout, Lazy Bet. I think, especially how he looked, right? I mean, it's not like Alex Perez is known. I mean, he does have a lot of knockouts. He has a lot of first-round finishes, but the shot that really changed the game wasn't anything than just an average, shot in the pocket, and and seeing how he was after, right? He was all out of it, trying to still grapple with them. I mean, wobbly, like there was a really bad finish for Charles Energy Johnson. So I think that can definitely warrant the conversation. Maybe see how the body feels. And if you're Alex Perez, you're one shot closer to title shot. So that's, good things happen for both of them.
This is another great comment from Brotorius MMA. How do you guys see 125 matchmaking going with Pantoja drama as well as Taira, Kopp, and Horiguchi coming off a big win? I'll be honest. I think Pantoja needs a little bit more time to recover. And what makes sense from a matchmaker point is you make the obvious choice. Horiguchi is a training partner with Pantoja. You do the vengeance theme and you have him come in against Joshua Van. If he wins or if he doesn't win, then you give it to Pantoja next. He will have given his friend an opportunity to win the belt, not against him. And then it's the best versus the best. Pantoja versus Horiguchi. And I think Horiguchi wins both those fights. So I think Horiguchi versus Van is just something that'll print money and put asses in seats. But Nano, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I do think that the 125 division and the matchmakers are in a great spot. They can really do whatever they want. They have multiple names, multiple options, multiple roads they can take here, Brotorius. Curious to hear who you think deserves it the most. If I'm being honest, I'm looking no further than a Manel Kopp. He just beat a Brandon Hoival who put up a great show against Joshua Van. I don't want to rush Alexandre Pantoja back in there. So I think if you're Joshua Van, you want to defend that title in the first half of the year. And the obvious choice for me is a Manel Kopp. I think if you're going to give a number one contender status to anybody else, or at least match someone up to put themselves in a good spot, I like Horiguchi. Maybe against a Tatsuro Taira. We know they're going to China. We know they're going to Japan, that side of the world. That can potentially really, really market well in that market. But there are two guys that deserve a number one contender status. And I think the wild card is Alexandre Pantoja, obviously. I'm a big fan of Alexandre, and I do think he deserves to get that nod once he's back in and healthy. But the UFC is not inclined to wait for a lot of people. And I think if you're Joshua Van, you could potentially sneak in a defense before Alexandre just walks back in and gets that title rematch. I could see that happening. But again, I mean, does the UFC really give people a lot of favors? I mean, to the Kamarus and Volkanovskis and people like that, we have seen it. I think Alexandre is in that class. Same with the Merab, with the amount of title defenses. So
he's just so underrated and underappreciated as a champ in comparison.
Yeah, I think whoever fights Joshua Van next, I honestly think Alexandre will get the next shot, regardless of who's slated.
He'll get winner.
But if you're a Tatsuro or a Horiguchi or a Manel, I mean, you answer the bell, you put yourself in that position. Maybe you're the backup fighter once you come.
That's a good shout too, Nano. I think it might be just whoever's readily available.
That's all it is.
The best ability is availability.
Well said.
Lazy Bet here with some breaking news. He says the back and forth online between Van and Kopp has been interesting. Apparently, they asked both Josh and Manel to step in for co-main last Saturday. Manel declined because he can't make weight on a week's notice. They mentioned a March date, if I'm remembering correct.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I think it's inevitable.
And then Brotoria said, I would guess Van versus Taira in Japan, and Kopp will fight the winner late summer. Why not Van versus Horiguchi in Japan? Horiguchi is a bigger Japanese star. Is he? Am I crazy on this? Hold on. He's Japan.
He is Japan. I just think Manel.
He's Japan and he's got 40 fucking fights, bro.
Yeah. That's why I think.
If we're gonna do this, let's fucking do this. Let's do Kyoji Horiguchi versus Josh Van at fucking Saitama Super Arena in Japan. Ooh. That's the move. Can we just get off the fucking pot or shit here? Like. That's the move. Oh, lazy bet. Get the fuck out of my mind, bro. I would love Japan, but Saitama is under construction and not ready until next year. Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
All right. Put that email on me. Just put that curse on me, Ricky Bobby.
So we're going to do the same thing we did last year. We're going to schedule the whole thing in Japan. And then 6 days before, we're going to fly all the Japanese fighters to America and make them do it at the Metapex. Fun fact, I was going to see your fucking cousin Jake in Vegas. I got there the night before all the rest of the family, and that's when that card fell because it started at 2 a.m. So I stayed up all night in my hotel room in Vegas watching that fight instead of going and hitting the strip. And honestly, I can tell you there were no regrets made, bro. I saw Dr. Xi Ming business, as we call her.
Hey, you gotta take advantage. Yeah, I mean the grind stops for no one. We got people to appease here, but yeah, I think the matchmakers are in a very, very favorable position here. They can really do whatever they want. I just personally, especially given that recent, shout out Lazy Bed for the updates. If they were slotted or they were already making those calls for them to match up, they're not. That feels like they're just going to rerun that back at a later date. And it sucks for Tatsuro Taira. I'm happy, thank you, but I think he will fight a Horiguchi or wait for the winner of that fight. Or if they say, hey, Alexandra's ready, Tatsuro, do you want to fight him? And have it kind of be like a pickup bout, number one contender? I mean, there's a lot you can do, but I think the most realistic is probably Manel versus Joshua Van. And
see, I could see that happening, but I would think that they would schedule Horiguchi as a backup because Manel has dropped out of more fights than he's actually completed in the UFC tenure.
Yeah, he is not.
He's a dropout merchant like Alex.
Yeah.
Makes it hard to trust. You always schedule a backup for that. And Brotorius, I wanted to pull this up one more time because I'm not shitting on you. I love Tatsuro Taira. There's a reason that I have not one, not two sound clips, but 2 sound clips and a fucking video clip. Okay.
I'm happy, thank you. I'm happy, thank you. I'm happy, thank you.
I mean, how do you not love the kid? How do you not love the kid? I'm happy, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to see that kid fight for the title. I just think that Horiguchi has the seniority, even though he only had one fight in the UFC recently. It's like the Halloween episode of Boy Meets World, You got the older character and Sean's older brother. He's like, I'm the oldest. I should be the leader. And Eric Matthews breaks the fourth wall and he's like, yeah, but I've been here longer. That's Horiguchi, right? He hasn't been here longer this time around, but he's been here longer in tenure because he fought here like 10 fucking years ago and then went and did some shit in 2-3 other organizations, bro. So, yeah. He says, I can honestly see Horiguchi versus Van as co-main for 327 in Miami as he lives there. That's the fucking move, bro. You do it on 327. If that's in his backyard, why the hell wouldn't you, bro? He trains out of ATT. It just makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, with that being said, let's jump into these last 2 fights so I can get Nano out of here and call it a night. We have a heavyweight bout between Josh Hokit and Denzel Freeman. I don't know what to even say about this. Denzel Freeman might be the second fighter I've ever seen in a bout to not land a single strike.
Whoa.
0 for 8 on total strikes, 0 for 7 on significant strikes, compared to 71 on total strikes and 37 on significant strikes for his opponent. I mean, his opponent smacked his ass as if he was going to put him to bed in a little while and do some nasty things with him. And then he proceeded to get a TKO via flipping the bird. I've never seen that in my 25 plus years of watching the sport. I don't like him, but it's impressive. I mean, like I said, he finished the guy with middle finger. So, and the guy's like, and falls down. It was bad, bro. It was wild stuff. I
understand.
I don't, Joe. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. So, and then he proceeds to put on the do-rag and do his I can't even say his best impression of Macho Man Randy Savage because it was probably his worst. And then ties in a little bit of Chael Sonnen in there with the Waldo Cortes-Acosta, you absolutely suck. It is tough. It was tough. But I guess if you're going to pick a lane, stay in it. So he's successfully doing that, if you want to call it that. But I mean, I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of anything he does. I don't know if you have any similar thoughts or different thoughts. Like, am I in a boat by myself here, bud?
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, obviously the win was undeniable. The style points and all of that, I mean, I could do without. But hey, I mean, you're in your flow state. You have an opportunity to smack your opponent in the behind. That so be it. And the finish, I didn't realize that Denzel Freeman did not land a single punch, and this was almost a full 4 minutes and 59 seconds. This was almost a full round.
So to get the points for our fantasy league, I enter a random DraftKings card every week, so that way I don't have to do the legwork, right? Because we use the DraftKings point system. I needed a fighter that was very cheap for my DraftKings card because I'm always trying to win money too, and the only fighter I could afford was Denzel Freeman. And he is the first and only fighter I can say this about that got me 0 points. Not even a point, a decimal point of points on DraftKings. 0.00 points in DraftKings fantasy. That's a first for me.
That is a first, and like with the asterisk that it almost went a full round. I mean the quick finish, whatever. Okay, so be it. But yeah, it was weird. And the joke I wanted to make was it feels like, his health bar was at basically gone, but I guess maybe there's a little bit left. If you're a video game player, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And then Josh Hokit hit his celebration and barely tapped his opponent, and that's what got him to knock out. I mean, it was weird. I've never seen something like that. I mean, Denzel was running away from him. Josh just flipped the bird, and Denzel Freeman collapsed, and Mark Smith was pressed to stop the fight, which, I mean, your opponent stopped fighting. He just collapsed. So that was a strange ending. I don't think that's going to get Denzel Freeman any more fights unless he has more on his contract. I mean, you can't bring someone back like that. I mean, yeah, he looks big, whatever, but Josh just went out there and whooped him up, man. I mean, there's nothing else to it. Josh is a good fighter. I mean, he's an athlete. We talked about him previously. He's an ex-NFL player, but the shenanigans I could do without. And the call out of a Waldo Cortes-Acosta, someone that is like quite literally one of the top prospects. I mean, make it more realistic. Like, come on. Even Walter Walker, I could have entertained, but like,
I mean, the homie thought that he was cooking by rhyming. Literally, you can't make this up. He rhymed the bee's knees, the big cheese, and me losing in a fist fight. N-word, please. And thought that he was cooking with grease, bro. Like, I mean,
N-word, please.
He literally said, like, he said that exact quote, N-word, please. Me losing in a fight, N-word, please.
No.
Like, it's so bad, dog. It's so bad. And then after he does this, like, Dr. Seuss, Macho Man Randy Savage-esque rhyming, like, fucking facade, he says, P.S. Brittany Grimer is a man.
Oh, no. He might have Asperger's or something. This guy.
And then he shows up at the post-fight press conference with a homie holding the mic for him that, like, looks like he's not old enough to drink. And he's, like, fielding questions like he's, like, the Paul Bearer or, like, Paul Heyman of the fucking group.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
like, to the point of, like, Jose Young's literally like, are you taking questions? He's like, do you have a question for my client? And he's like, is he taking questions? He's all, yeah, from you, because you have a nice jacket on. I like that jacket. Which Jose Young's always dressed to the night. But
yes, he is. But jeez,
just so weird, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
a strange character. He might have early onslaught of CTE. I mean, he did play football, but golly,
He was doing an interview and somebody asked him, like, there's been a long-lived debate between which has more CTE, NFL or MMA. You've now competed in both. Which would you say? He's like, are you trying to say that I have CTE? And he's like biting on the jaw thing and shit. He's doing like the whole bit wearing the sunglasses and the do-rag. Like, it's just over the top. And it's like a really, really bad rendition of Chael Sonnen mixed with Macho Man Randy Savage. The cream of the crop will rise to the top, brother. Like,
he's got no
do the voice.
He's got no
do it,
aura.
brother.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
All right.
But A for effort.
Heavyweight division in the UFC is in dire straits. You could take any heavy from 2014 and they'd be at top 15 instantly. Bro, Cain Velasquez would do bad things to anybody on the division right now.
I mean, dude, Tim Silva, Bigfoot, no.
Oh, dude, Tim Sylvia, fucking the natural Randy Couture would do nasty things to these boys.
Brock Lesnar. I mean, dude.
Ubereem.
Oh yeah, Shane
Pride
Carwin
era
during his.
Oh,
time.
Shane Carwin, the biggest hands in the UFC, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of studs.
Oh, fucking meathead, Matt Mitrione. He'd win 3 fights in a night against the current roster. You're not wrong, bro.
Roy Nelson.
Meathead. That motherfucker didn't even train on his season of Ultimate Fighter. Was just killing people.
Yeah, there are some dogs.
Rampage hated that guy. He's like, you ever gonna show up to training? He's like, no, just put me in a fight. I ain't gonna put you in a fight if you're gonna show up to training. He's like, just put me in a fight. That was like one of 2 fighters for his whole team that won that season. I think he won the fucking season for heavyweight.
Dude. Yeah, there is so many.
I think I saw him in the training montages twice the whole fucking season. The motherfucker's built different, bro. And he's another guy that's from the NFL.
Yeah, that's true. Shit.
A lot of people forget that, bro. People don't forget. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to play matchmaker for Hokit or fucking Denzel Freeman, or as I like to call him, Jack Carl Winslow. It's just not happening. You can go back to Family Matters after that performance of 0 strikes. When it comes to welterweight prospect Ty Miller making his UFC debut, my God, a guy surviving the first round, he said, forget about it. Did you get that? I said, forget about it. Because he fought Adam Forget about it. Anyways, bad jokes aside, the guy cut nasty angles. He was piecing up his opponent the entire time, doubled up on the strikes, landed and thrown. I mean, just the accuracy was there. The angles were there. The head movement was there. This guy is an absolute problem for the welterweight division. Do I think he's a champion in the next 2 years? Not a fucking chance, bro. But at the same time, he's also very, very fresh, very, very young, is Ty Thriller Miller. He's 25 years old. He is 5 to 7 years away from his fight prime, and I think that he will be fighting for a title long before then. So great prospect, great eyes on this, and I gotta tell you, we were all shocked when Drew drafted this fucking debutant. He's the diehard casual of the group. He's been watching just as long as all of us, but he openly admits that he's not going to watch a fight if he doesn't know the fighters or the names. When he said Ty Thriller Miller, I was like, wait, what? You know him? He's like, yeah, he's going to knock his opponent out probably in the first round. And Mystic Drew, bro. I mean, got to think he was watching this shit like,
I'm happy to go!
I can't blame him. I can't blame him. So I poured up a shot for Drew because honestly, like, the guy might end up doing the 3-peat. Cheers to the Fantasy League. Cheers to you and all of your bets. We really hope you cashed. And if you didn't, gosh, we really hope we do next week. And we hope you tell us and do the same. Cheers.
Salute. Great episode, y'all. Appreciate you. And glad to be back. And hopefully,
now, what were your thoughts on Ty the Thriller Miller?
Yeah, I think he did a great job. I mean, I think we both were taking him to win. I think Mystic Drew definitely came through on this one, but I just was impressed by how he was able to keep his opponent at the end of his punches. Like, he was always in a good position, landing every bit of those punches that he needed. Nothing was off balance. Like, I thought there was a lot of great takeaways, and the fact that he was able to put away and Adam forget about it, like, that's someone that is maybe not necessarily fighting for a title himself, and Adam Puget, right? He maybe a gatekeeper as it was thrown around earlier, but like, I mean, he put him out definitively. It was a accumulation of damage, and Ty Miller to me showed a lot of skills and things that are hard to coach at that stage in their career. Again, 25 years young, he has athleticism, he has the IQ, he has that instinct. And again, my big takeaway was, wow, he was catching them on the end of every punch. Like, not just in short range trying to like land something. Is like he would take a step back.
If you were playing the UFC game, John Anik would be saying, it's like he's got a rangefinder in there.
Yeah, shout out golf. I mean, he's got that rangefinder in the bag, baby. It was impressive. Thriller Miller, with that kind of name as well, I think we'll be talking about him sooner rather than later. So really, really impressive. Shout out Drew for picking him. You got a good one there in that debutante, but I think he'll be back really soon. We'll see you soon, Ty Miller. Let's go.
I definitely think so too. I think with that kind of fight and that kind of performance, more so, he will be looking to bounce back very quickly. Now, with that being said, do you have a name on the tip of your tongue as to who you'd like to see him fight next? And if you need a minute, I'm happy to throw a couple names out there.
Yeah, throw him out there. I'm gonna pull up the rankings here again. I just closed it out, but who are you thinking? You can't go too high with him, right? Yeah, I mean, he needs.
And that's the thing. I don't want to go top 10, even top 30. Right? The guy's brand new, but I would like to throw out a couple of names. Right? So, biggest name that comes to mind is Kevin Trailblazer Holland, coming off 2 back-to-back losses. Currently sitting at number 47 on Tapology. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then you have another person that's coming off 2 back-to-back losses, one by decision, one by TKO. We've only seen him fight twice in the last 3 years. And that's the Leech, Jingliang Li Jingliang. I don't know, man. I think those fights make a lot of sense. And then outside of that, if you want to give him a little bit less of a name, but still a decent step up in competition, give him Chuck Buffalo, Charles Radke.
I actually do really like the Chuck Buffalo shout. That was someone I did have circled in on my short list here. But if not him, and I know we don't typically like to do an Icarus effect with 2 young prospects that are coming up in their career, but hey, you got to put good on good. And we've talked about this guy in the past. He's a handsome devil. I'm talking about Islam Dulatov, the Ripper, a.k.a. the Fashion Nova model, to go out there.
That's fun.
I mean, both guys are legit. They both need to continue to win. He's 27 years old, so they still have a lot of runway left in their career. He's sitting at 50. Islam's 50th on Tapology. Ty Miller's currently 60th, so it makes sense in terms of where they are currently. And a win for either of those gentlemen could definitely put them in that top 40 to 30 range. So that's my pick.
Lazy Bed digging from the depths of the MMA libraries and databanks here for this one. Shout out former UFC heavyweight, NFL player, and Louisiana native, Sean Jordan, otherwise known as The Savage, a man that you may have forgot, but I'm here to remind you, knocked out Pat Barry in just 59 seconds and only took 48 seconds in the very second round to knock out Derrick Lewis all the way back in 2015.
Damn. Yeah, beat a Pat Barry in 2013. Beat a Jared Cannonier in 2015. Sheesh.
That man's been across 3 weight classes.
Crazy work. And he lost
265 to 205 to 185 and actually down to 170. So 4 weight classes Jared Cannonier has been across.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's
wild, he beat
bro.
Derrick Lewis twice. He beat him in GFA as well in 2010. Shout out.
Yep.
Damn.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast. The Savage. The Savage. Folks, listen. We've been going live for a little over 2 hours. I got to let this man go to bed, and he's got a hell of a week in front of him, as do I. We'll be live again on Thursday. Make sure you tune in. If you don't already, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications so you know when we are going live on Thursday, and you're here in the chat because we love seeing you. And, folks, if you do nothing else, if you've done none of the things we've asked you to do, right? If you do nothing else at all that we truly ask and care about is that you keep on going and that you keep on growing. And we really hope we see you next time. Let's go.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.